All right, so episode 117, part 2. You're
Yeah.
back, Amber.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You gotta don't
Oh,
leave me
sorry.
hanging.
Yeah.
Jeez. Welcome back.
Yes.
Last time was a weird one. Uh, you were sick and coughing, and I took some cough medicine that knocked me out. But we had a great conversation. I
But we
actually
still tried.
we still have a great podcast to put out, but we had a second segment that I'm an idiot. I lost because you had some announcements to make. You had some things going on.
Mm-hmm.
But first, I want to talk about the percussion thing that you brought up just a second ago.
Okay.
Because I'm a huge percussion fan.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily good at it. I've been around a drum kit since I was 15, so I've always had one around and played on it, but I've never really, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm faking it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Durham Fest, I'll play drums on a song, and Gary will switch to guitar, so, now, of course, my son's drumming, so I'm very fascinated in the percussion world. So you were telling me that you did that for
I
a long
did.
time.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Well, I started off in 6th grade, and I remember
They start out that early?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. 6th grade, and I remember being told by Mr. Spillers, or Mr. Mitchell. I think it was Mr. Mitchell at that time. He was doing the younger ones.
Mr. Spillers is still there.
Oh yeah, I love him. I
Like,
love him. I
he
still
was
see him
there
all
when
the
I was
time.
there. I remember when he was a young man. You do too. I mean, you're not
Yes,
too
yeah.
much younger than me. What year did you graduate?
08.
Yeah, wait, because you're
Yeah.
my sister's. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. But yeah, I remember going to a high school game a couple years ago and seeing him up there. I was like, I can't believe he's still rocking and rolling.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I see him all the time, and I'm like, you're doing great. Love it.
He was a good dude.
Love
He
it.
he invited me to play guitar with the band one time,
Uh-huh.
and I really didn't want to do it. And he like, come on, it'll be fun. And I'm like, what you don't realize is I don't know how to read music. So like I would need to learn the song. So I just felt like an idiot in there, like because I don't know how to. I'm a rock and roller,
Uh-huh.
and rock and rollers just write their own shit,
Just-
and you memorize it and you
Uh-huh.
play it. It's like, but if you give me a piece of sheet music or tablature or drum tablature, like I can kind of figure it out very slowly. But I'm like at a kindergarten level reading that stuff.
No, I feel you. That's how I have felt too. I was never one to read music very well.
Yeah.
And so I just felt the beat of it. And
You feel like you have a natural like feel for rhythm. You good dancer
I mean, I used to be.
back in the
But,
day.
yeah. I like to pretend like I still do, but I mean, I've been a cheer coach this past few months, and so
How you really?
yes, for Farmington, it was just like the Pee Wee cheerleaders.
Oh, that's cool. What grade?
My 3rd grade.
Okay.
Just started the rock bottom.
Because my son was in 4th. What was it? Football or?
Yes, it was for football.
Oh, so you're doing elementary football this year too?
Yes,
Cool, with the 3rd
yeah.
grade team. They had a good
Yeah,
season.
They did. They're so talented.
What was their record?
We
You
were.
know?
We
Did
were
they
undefeated.
lose? Yeah, I thought they were
Yeah.
undefeated. Yeah.
Undefeated, and I was looking at the football players, how skilled they were, and then the cheerleaders I had, and I was like, this generation is full of huge talent. They really are.
Well, it's weird because I watched my middle one play in what's the last grade they play? Elementary 6. So 5th grade I watched him and I was like, oh my gosh, the fundamentals are just not here. And I don't know the coaching situation. This is the first year he'd played at Farmington. I was like, I want to coach next year. And I don't want to be a head coach. I don't want that responsibility. But I want to, as a running back, teach these running backs, if you're getting the ball on the right side, get your right elbow up. Because what I was seeing was these guys were going out there like this. It was hitting their elbows. They were dropping balls behind the line of scrimmage. That's basic 101 stuff. And I just wanted to help with that. So I coached 6th grade football. We won one game. It was a long season. And you know how defeating that is every week. You know you're not good. And anyway, this year, my youngest one played 4th grade, and they were 6-2, lost twice to Pea Ridge. We'll get them next year. But I didn't coach because these coaches were on it. They were all over it. They were zoned in. They knew what they were doing. They'd coached them last year. They had a ton of respect. It was like a military team. I'd never seen such tight,
Yeah.
yes sir, no sir, getting in lines. The 6th grade team couldn't even get in even lines. It was like, guys, look, this is so basic.
Get it together.
And these kids are 3 years younger, and they're on it. And I was like, I don't need to coach. I can just watch.
Yes, there's something I feel so powerful with that younger generation for sure, and that's something I had seen from the get go as being, it was my first year as a cheer coach. And I was very nervous to even accept that position just
Yeah.
because I was still going through a divorce. Even though we had been separated for the entire year, I knew
It's a
our
lot of
divorce was-
responsibility.
yeah. And it would take time out of doing spray tans too, which
Yeah.
was like an income.
Well, that's what you
for
make
me.
your living from.
Yes,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. And so it was a hard decision, but I just felt it was the right one.
But I bet it was rewarding.
It was so rewarding.
Tell me
thought
about
I'd
that,
be-
and I'll tell you about mine.
Honestly, what I loved was seeing, like, being able to develop relationships with these younger girls. And
Who aren't even your kids.
No. And
But you find these connections with them, and you have, like, I coached because my son was playing.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get attached to these other kids, and they have
Yes.
personalities, and you want to see them grow and develop.
Absolutely.
And it's so rewarding.
It's so
yeah,
fulfilling.
keep telling me about
Yes,
this.
yeah. And like every time we would have a practice, something that just really filled my heart was like I would walk into the gym, and these girls would just come up to me and give me a hug and like, oh, I missed you. And so I just knew I was where I was meant to be.
Cool.
And it ended up being, I mean, I was nervous because like I have never done this before. I was like, and we also had the biggest squad in TV.
Yeah.
We started off with like I think like 35 girls.
Oh my God.
And so I was like, okay,
a lot of
can
folks.
I do this? But it ended up being so rewarding, and these girls went from like here to like way up here.
So did you know what you were doing, or did you have to come up with a game plan? Like, how did? Because I know nothing about cheer.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be like a cheerleader when I was younger.
So you were in cheer?
Well, when I was little.
Oh, okay.
And so it took like going back to that like inner child also.
Yeah.
And remembering those skills, but also just inventing like new ideas. And so one thing was I thought it would be a really fun idea for the girls to do Thriller in October.
Ooh,
for, like, their
yeah,
halftime
that's cool.
performance.
Hell yeah.
And so I had never...
Let me ask you this. Did any of the kids know the song before you showed it to them?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
That's a tragedy.
Yeah, I know.
Isn't that wild?
I knew it was, but...
That, like, we grew up in a completely different generation. And you like we look at our parents and like, wait, they lived through this and that. It's like you can't imagine it because you weren't there.
Right.
You know, and then you hear like kids don't know who Michael Jackson or the Beatles are these days, and it's like, man, it doesn't seem like that long ago.
I know.
You know, they're listening
Like
to Post
original.
Malone and all these, you know, Taylor Swift, all these new people, and I'm like,
And you're like trying to like, who's that?
Well, I mean, my kids are metalheads, so like, I kind of got lucky that all they want to listen to is metal.
Yeah.
And so, like, I got no problem with that.
Yes.
You know, but I don't know. I feel like music sucks these days.
It's not the same. It
But
really is
I
not.
want to get back to the percussion too. 'Cause there's so many things I want to talk about because you're a very interesting person. But the percussion thing. So you started in 6th grade. How long did you do it?
Up until my 12th grade year. I did it from 6th to
Oh, did you
12th.
really?
Yeah.
So what kind of stuff were you playing? Because I'm really curious about like doing campfire jams and stuff and stuff that's not kit. So like, what kind of things were you playing on?
So when I first started, I remember having to get like a practice kit. Like the basic practice kit was like a little pad to learn the
Oh yeah.
drumming.
Yep.
And then I went to bells and did that for a little bit.
Do they have different tones? Is that okay?
It's almost like a piano.
Yeah. But
did
it's a
that.
malleted
It
instrument.
is.
Yeah.
It is. And then when I became like in junior high, that's when I actually started. I was a majorette. Was the twirler.
Yeah.
Baton twirler, not the flags. The majorette.
Yeah.
But you still had to play an instrument, and so I did snare for a little bit, and then I went to bass.
Wait.
Bass drum.
Bass drum.
Uh-huh.
That's a big old thing to haul around for a little gal like
Yeah.
you.
I was the only girl.
Were you really?
Yeah. And then our 11th grade, I guess it's probably maybe towards the end of 10th, but definitely our 11th grade and 12th grade year, we brought the drum line into play. So
Right.
if you remember if you ever watched the Drumline movie,
I actually haven't seen it. No.
You've got to see it. So it was around that time that had became popular, and so we, as a drum line, we would like during pep rallies, we would just the percussion drum line would go out there and do different like beats and get the crowd like riled
Yeah,
up.
that's awesome.
And then after football games, we would challenge the other drumline team that we were going against.
Oh,
And we would
really?
do a
Oh, that's fun.
yeah, like right out, like at the end of the game, we would do like a standoff.
Yeah.
That was so fun. So if you
Yeah, I bet.
if you have ever watched the Drumline movie and you see what they're doing, that's what Farmington was doing.
Tell me about the Drumline movie. 'Cause I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
It's basically just like what like it just puts the spotlight in the drum line and
Okay.
like the heart of the band.
Like it's all about.
Yes.
Okay,
and they
cool.
would do standoffs like face to face
Right.
with the other team and like twirler like their
That's
sticks
crazy.
and like eyed up. And we actually had, and he just did this at like his free will. He wasn't getting paid to do it, but we had a drumline instructor, and we in the wintertime we went to drumline competitions, but that wasn't a thing for Arkansas, so we had to go like and compete with Oklahoma, and we did an Alcatraz theme, and so we were dressed up. My brother-in-law works for the jail, and so he helped us get the costumes.
Really? So you got
And-
legit.
Oh yeah, we were legit, and then we made our own little shackles on our feet, and we made it look like we were like escaping from jail or
Really?
whatever, and it was so
That's fun.
much fun.
That's cool.
And I can't remember what we placed, but it wasn't bad. It was like second place or something.
Yeah.
When we went to our first competition in Oklahoma.
Very cool.
And we were just competing with just different drum lines in a gym,
Yeah.
inside a gym. And so,
That's neat. My son's doing that now. Like
Yeah.
he just started in 7th grade.
Yeah, no,
learning
I mean-
drums or like he's in percussion now. Learning,
Yeah.
you know, like rock
So-
drumming is a totally different thing than what you're talking about.
Mhm.
Like learning the music and how to do the techniques and stuff. And I think it'll make him better.
yeah.
I was always afraid. Paul McCartney was asked in like the late 60s. They're like, you know, you write such great music, but you don't know how to read or write music. And he's like, yeah, I'm a rock star. We don't need to do that.
Exactly.
If I learn how to do it, then I'm going to try and do things the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing pretty well doing things the wrong way. And I was a kid when I read that quote, and I was just like, I'm never going to learn music. My mom tried to get me to play piano. I was like, I don't want to know how to do it right.
Mm-hmm.
I want the creative juices to flow and what sounds good to me.
Right.
know.
My mom put me in piano lessons for at least a year when I was younger.
How did it take?
It was not for me.
Yeah, me
It was
either.
so boring. I didn't like it, but I stuck with it for a little
Piano
bit just to
sucks.
try. And I did not like reading music. I liked
Yeah.
to hear it.
Yeah.
And so when I became like a cheer coach and learned like the Thriller dance, I also created, after like teaching myself that myself, like with just the beats and everything,
Right.
I created a more simpler version for my third grade girls.
Yeah.
To be able to do that.
Sure.
But it had to do with like listening and like the counts and the beats and everything. And so that's why I taught them. And
Did you use any of the dances from the video?
Oh yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I just simplified it.
Because that video is amazing.
Oh yeah.
I remember as a kid, I don't know how old I was when that song came out. But like I just remember as a kid thinking, I've never seen anything like this before.
Right. Yes. Yeah. No, it was quite a experience for sure. Because, I mean, I learned it in 2 days, and I was kind of on time limit on when I needed to get my cheerleaders to
for
learn
sure.
this. And so I would always tell them when I was teaching them when we would have our practice, like, if you lose like where we're at, like listen to this beat and like, okay, this is where the move goes this way.
Yeah.
And so I taught them that, like, listen to this, and then you'll be able.
But
to
you
get
had
back
that
into
kind of
it.
percussion background as far
Mhm.
as that goes, so that helps with dance
Oh yeah.
and beat and that
Mhm.
kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, you're still a little scared going into it the first time.
Yeah.
It sounds like you had a good experience with it overall.
Absolutely.
Are you gonna do it next year?
Yeah. I already decided I would.
That's kind of
I-
crazy that we were at the same fields every week and never saw each other.
Yeah.
Because we were at. I mean, you probably went to all the same games. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, and
Yeah.
we were always
I was on the field.
we were
out
always
there.
jealous of that third grade team. It's like, those kids just can't lose, man. We were 4-0 and went to Pea Ridge, and I've never seen kids more. I don't think they thought they could lose because they had been. I think they had 4 shutouts in a row. They went the first 4 games. They did not allow a score, and then we played Pea Ridge and they beat us. And I've never seen more shock on it. The parents, the kids, and these Pea Ridge kids were throwing it out like the 2001 Rams, dude. Like they were airing it out. I'm like, dude, this is 4th grade, and they're running these zip routes, and these wide receivers weren't just like, you little kids like trying to catch the ball. They were like catching it on the inside shoulder. And I'm like, what is going on here? We only lost by 2 the first time, so it was like, okay, we can still. Our defense is still really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so we were that put us at 4-1. We won our next 2 games, and they were the last game at home. And we're like, we got them at home, and they blew us out. So they were the champions of 4th grade league. Congratulations to Pea Ridge. We'll see you next year.
Yes, always another time.
But it's a good challenge. It's a good challenge to have a goal like that.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
next year, like Prairie Grove, for instance. You grew up in the Prairie Grove rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
It's still there, even though
is.
Farmington is a bigger class. We used to be in the same division, of course, but I think they're 5A, we're 6. Is that right?
I think so.
We still play them, but it's not a conference game, but it's
Right.
still a huge rivalry. And my dad went to Prairie Grove.
Okay.
My whole family went to Prairie Grove. Even when I was in high school, like all of my uncles and their kids went to Prairie Grove. I was the only Durham in Farmington. So there was that rivalry too. It was like
That's tough.
we stayed in Prairie Grove and you betrayed us and went to Farmington. So my cousin was my age and she was a cheerleader. And so they did a little shenanigans on my car our senior year, which was they hung a cardinal off of our field house. Like somebody shot a cardinal with a .22 and hung it with a noose
Oh no!
from our field house. And to this day, and then in retaliation, some of our teammates, now I think this is past the statutes of limitations, 25 years ago, but they went and poured a big F in gasoline on the Prairie Grove field in retaliation for the cardinal. But I always thought the coaches did the cardinal as a psyop. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
They're like, we're going to kill a cardinal and show these guys how terrible these Prairie Grove people are. But it's such a funny rivalry because you're friends with them. You know a lot of them. You know my cousin.
Right. Yeah.
But then when it comes to the football game, it's
You're
like,
like,
we are
no.
mortal enemies.
Yes.
And we didn't ever
That
beat Prairie
mindset.
Grove when I was playing. We lost the 3 years and I was in high school. So the first game we beat Prairie Grove was my son this year in 4th grade. It was a very proud moment for
Yeah,
me.
there you go.
It's
You're
really
like,
petty, but it's like, fuck, beat Prairie Grove.
Yes.
4th grade football.
We're back.
But rivalries are fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as long as you can, still be friends with, you understand the concept.
Well,
of
that's with
what you're
anything,
doing.
and that's what's really sad
But
with the
then
world right now. Is it's
let
like,
it go and
yeah,
carry on.
and in sports, I feel like you can do that. I feel like in politics and like it gets nasty, and that's one thing, and we did talk about this last time, like uniting versus dividing. Like there's 2 kinds of, like you can bring people together or you can push people apart, and I just don't understand the latter. Like
Right.
we are at a time in this country, in this world, where we're coming up on AI. It's going to change. It's going to be like the car or the computer or the phone. It's going to revolutionize everything.
Yeah.
I mean, they're already using it in the workplace to do
Yeah.
things. It's going to eliminate jobs. Just like, you think about the horse and carriage buggy drivers when the car came out. They got put out of business.
Yeah.
There was so much horse shit in New York back in the 20s. Like they didn't even know what to do with it. So the automobile comes out, right? And then, you think about how we can't really even imagine the
Yeah.
1920s and 30s and 40s and 50s. Like when the automobile was coming out, people were still riding horses. Like our grandparents lived that though. Like I talked to my grandpa about like he took his horse to school and they had tethers and they parked their horses.
Yeah.
He'd pick up my grandma on the way to school, put her on the back of the
My grandma
horse.
would talk about just walking to school.
Yeah.
Just walking.
But it was a
even in the
different
snow.
world before Morgan Nick. Do you remember Morgan Nick?
Yes. She was my
You might have been
age.
pretty. Is she your age?
She was
Yeah,
my
because she was
age.
younger than me.
Yes.
Yeah, she was my sister. Yeah, that's right.
She was my age. That was scary.
That, to me, changed the world.
Yes.
We went from feeling safe to not. And that was 25 years ago. when that happened.
Yeah.
As somebody who has kids, and I can't imagine losing, like, just not knowing.
Yes.
Just not. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm.
that is super hard. Like, just not having that closure.
Yeah.
My heart really goes out to that mom, because now that I have children, and even now I have a daughter, I couldn't imagine.
No.
Living
I can't. I'm
like
already
that.
depressed about my kids moving out.
Me too.
Like, I found, like, y'all. My goal in life is to be a little bit better every day, because I'm a flawed person. I know I'm a flawed person, but if I can just fix one thing every day, and I've got a mountain of flaws, it'll probably take me 30, 40 years to get where I want to be.
Well, we're never going to be perfect.
But if we can just get a little better every day, that's my goal. And I make mistakes, I stumble, I fall.
We all do.
Did you ever listen to DC Talk? Do you remember that band? The Christian kind of rap rock band from the 90s?
Maybe.
They had
Probably so.
They had a song called "What If I Stumble? What If I Fall?"
Okay.
It was it's a beautiful song. It's it's a Christian band, but it's like, you're gonna fall, you're gonna fail, you're gonna make bad decisions, you're gonna make emotional decisions, but you just want to be a good person.
Yes.
And
it's what your heart, like, what your heart really desires, and, like, being true to that is what's most important. Like, we're not going to be perfect. Like, nobody in this world is going to be a perfect person. No matter how hard you try, you're not going to be a perfect person. And that's something I've been learning in my journey too, is that I don't have to show up perfect. Honestly, people can relate more to, like, your true self.
And that's what podcasts have shown. There are people who are still watching the legacy media, Fox News, CNN, those kinds of things. And you're in a suit and you're reading a script who was written by the sponsor, who was Pfizer, right? Whereas a podcaster, and I'm not saying there aren't podcasters getting paid under the table, but what it's done is it's taken the power away and given it back to people. People like Tim Pool or Candace Owens, we talked about a little bit texting, these people, whether you agree with them or not, they're able to have different conversations than the narrative and pushing, these things. And it's really fragmented. It's like when we grew up, you remember, we only had a few TV stations. We only had a few radio stations. We all listened to the same music. We all watched the same shows. There might be some variety here. You like murder mysteries. I like sci-fi, right? But overall, even if you didn't watch it, you knew what was out there.
Yeah.
Now there's so many streaming services.
Overwhelming.
How does a band become like a Metallica or a Journey now? Even if you're good, you're going to be spread across 20 different platforms.
Right.
Versus the radio, which nobody listens to radio anymore.
Yeah.
We're so fragmented. It's a good thing and a bad thing, because it allows small artists to create.
Yes. As long as you're, like, authentic and you just bring, like, your true self to the table, I feel like a lot of people will be able to relate to that more so.
Well, you used the key word right at the beginning of that sentence, authenticity. People are starving for authenticity. And if you can bring that and be real, I mean, it's a powerful thing. And that's why these podcasters have taken off. Whether you like Joe Rogan or not, I believe that man is authentic. I believe he's on a quest for knowledge. He wants to learn.
Yeah.
And I want to go on that. He's wrong sometimes. So what?
Yeah.
But I feel like we're in this tribal culture where it's like, if you don't believe this, then we are enemies.
Yeah. That's the problem.
And it's like, when did that change? Like, surely Trump didn't do that. Like, I think it's more like social media and the internet, to where you can just say nasty shit and have no consequences. Whereas in real life, if I said something nasty to you, you'd slap me in the face, and I'd have consequences.
Yeah.
But when you're trigger finger, and you just say whatever you want.
Keyboard warriors.
Keyboard warriors.
What I call them.
Yeah. How do we get to a better place, though? Like, how do we as the people, because placing faith in institutions and politicians is not going to get us anywhere.
Right. I think that they need to see more, like, authenticity in people that they can relate to. That I love when I go and look at, like, podcasts or different, like, TikToks or Reels or whatever I'm looking at. I am drawn to more that I can relate to on a personal level.
Yeah.
Versus seeing somebody that is just very unrealistic.
Yeah.
And kind of fake. And so I
I'm
feel
with
like
you.
that is what's going to draw us together because we need more of that. We've seen so much fake, so much like, oh, life is good, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like, but that's not always the case. We all know that. It's not.
No.
And so when we just are more open and honest and authentic, I think is a huge picture for that.
Well, to build on that a little bit, what I find disturbing is that mental health in this country is at an all-time low. We have more people on antidepressants than ever before, on birth control pills, on hormone changing drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And I really, people claim to be concerned about mental health. You know, oh, mental health is very important. But then a lot of these same people are dividers
Mm-hmm.
and go out and intentionally divide. Maybe put yourself in the shoes of the person you're attacking and
Mm-hmm.
wonder where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're an inch away
Yeah.
from just falling apart. Like, let's, if you want to talk about authenticity, if you're going to talk about mental health and be serious about it, let's not go out and attack people. Let's not
Yes.
go out and be negative because if
Mm-hmm.
you're worried about mental health, those kinds of things have an effect,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Absolutely do.
Yeah.
Especially like right now, it's so crucial. Um it's a big thing that a lot of us like to sweep underneath the rug, I guess I should say. Um it's kind of taboo, like we
Yeah.
shouldn't be this way. But you know what? Like that is being honest with what's really going on. And that's true. Like a lot of us are just medicating ourselves, and not saying that medication is wrong, um,
Sure.
but it's just kind of putting a band aid on that
Right.
aspect instead of really using what we were born with, like what our God given gift was.
What do you think caused the mental health epidemic?
Oh, that's been going on for thousands of years. But if I'm being honest with that, but the biggest turnaround that I can say, in my opinion, was 2020. COVID.
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 It was the worst. We did everything we could wrong. Everything. We made every wrong decision we could possibly make. Doubled down on it. Kids
We
were
lived in fear.
we were terrified.
Yeah.
And not even of the virus for me. Like I was
Mm-hmm.
looking at the numbers and going, okay, it looks like a common cold, but they're treating it like it's AIDS.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
this doesn't make sense.
Like, you can't go outside, like, or you might possibly die.
Well, I remember because my wife works in medical, and she, they were going to let go anybody who didn't get. I won't name companies or anything, but they were going to let go anybody who didn't get the vaccine. So there was a protest, and that corner up there, that pink sign. What's it say when authority is placed before liberty? Everyone loses, something like that. We had signs, we were talking,
Mm-hmm.
and people were driving by the protest, calling us murderers and telling us that DHS needed to take our kids away, and like it was wild. And all we were saying was, "Hey, we shouldn't lose our jobs for not getting this experimental." And by the way, they changed the definition of vaccine. But by the way, that's a whole thing. Look that up. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
It is not a vaccine. It's an mRNA. Gene therapy. That's what it is. And the spike protein in that is killing young people with myocarditis and all kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
Kids were dying in the tests, which we're now finding out. I mean, it was a horrible time in human history.
Yep. I during that time, I was an optician for an eye clinic.
Yeah.
And it was a small eye clinic. And everybody had done the first round of COVID, like their COVID shots. I did not.
Right. You never got them.
I never
Right.
had
We talked about that last time. Yeah.
zero. Now the
Yeah.
truth is out. Um, but
Hey, you're gonna make it.
Yeah.
You don't have to
I'm
worry about.
good.
I'm so scared for a lot of my friends. They're like gonna have heart problems and
Yes,
stuff.
yeah. I don't know why I felt such a strong intuition about that.
Yeah, I did too.
I mean, I prayed and
like
prayed, like, if I needed this, because I mean, I'll be honest. I used to get my flu shots, and
Really?
I did.
So why not the COVID vaccine then?
I just had like
A
it just
feeling? Me
yes,
too.
it was such a
Like an aversion, like a strong, yeah.
feeling. And I stood my ground in the medical field. I risking my job, and I
Yeah.
had just divorced from my kid's dad during that time.
Yeah.
And so I was risking a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
And
That's scary.
that's when I actually started Airbrushed by Amber.
Oh, is that when you started it?
Yeah, I started in 2021,
Okay.
just like a year afterwards, when it was still all this shit was still going around. That's when I started launching this business, and the one I got certified with, she knew my fear. Like, I'm afraid that like they might just, you know, I might get fired anytime because you in state of Arkansas, you don't even have to have a reason.
Everybody in the world was scared of losing their job. I was scared.
Seeing it right and left with like the nurses and the hospitals and stuff. I was seeing that. I would have patients come in and asking who got the vaccine, like, and I would look at you like you were like some kind of like virus, and so I had to learn on how to navigate that. Thankfully, who I worked for never really, after I stood my ground, did not push it any further.
Yeah.
I feel like he understood, like, okay, she has her own beliefs. That's okay. And it was never a thing after that. But I went into Airbrush for Amber, focused on that to get out of this, I don't even like what to call it. I just felt like I was almost like in a boot camp, like Nazi era. Like,
yeah, it was a wild time because everybody was at home.
Yeah.
Everybody was shut down, locked down, alone, kept from people, kept from society. Kids were kept from their peers. It was awful what we did to kids.
Oh, yes.
I mean, they lost 2 years of education, of socializing, of that couple year generation got screwed.
And they don't people like think about what that did to our kids.
Yeah.
Think about it. Like, not just us. I
Yeah.
mean, it did a number on us, but then.
Yeah.
So,
It was the weirdest time in my life. I'll never forget Joe Biden coming out on the podium and saying, I'm going to try and mandate this for every human in America. My skin went cold. It's like, that is the most authoritarian. They call Trump a dictator, and he's saying everyone has to get this. And companies were, who were some of the companies? I'm trying to think. There were several that laid off anyone who didn't get the vaccine.
Oh, yeah.
I was worried the company I was working with at the time did not fire anyone. They said we're going to leave that up to the employees, which I thought was awesome.
Good for them.
But there was a time period where you were wondering, where we didn't know. Like, are they going to do it or are they not?
Scary, especially like for a single mom.
I can't even imagine your situation. But I had friends that went and got it just in case. Like, well, just in case they're going to fire us, I'm going to go ahead and get it.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, is it worth it? Like, I'd almost rather lose my job than lose my health. Like, if this, because like the doctors that invented the mRNA vaccine were going on Rogan and saying, this isn't ready. This is not what we think it is. It was a wild time, but it was so polarizing because that's the first time that I, as a white male, right, you consider the straight white male's the top of the food chain, the patriarchy, right? That's what the theory is, right?
Yeah.
And in the first time in my life, I felt persecuted and hunted. Like, people hated me for not getting this vaccine.
Yep. I remember like feeling like I looked like I was like a virus.
Trash.
Yes.
Yes. We were demonized.
What?
We were demonized.
But for whatever, I don't know. I just had this strong
a feeling.
I've always been like, my family has always said like, Amber, you're the shortest, but you're very strong.
So there's three of you sisters?
Natures. Yes.
Is there a brother?
We do have a brother. Yes.
I thought there was, so there's four of you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The oldest one, he's the boy.
Yeah.
He lives in Illinois. And then there's Rachel, Brandy, and then me.
Okay, I didn't know Brandy either. How old? She's in between you and Rachel. How many years?
She graduated in 04.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah, I didn't know
she's
her.
about to be at 40 next
But
year.
Rachel graduated, what, no one, I think, because she was like a year younger than me.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah.
There's a picture I posted last year. We had some kind of stupid, like the last day of school, we had field day or whatever.
Uh
We
huh.
did all that. There's a picture of me and Rachel running a race next to each other. It's kind of funny. Yeah, she was a cool cat.
Yes. Yeah. She's definitely one I cling to. I
She
always
Where does
called
she
her.
live now?
She lives in Bella Vista.
Oh, so she's still local.
Yeah.
Oh, for some reason I thought she was out of state or something.
Mm-mm.
I'd like to get her on the podcast.
Yes. I've actually, Rachel, I've been talking to
I
her
need
about
to
that because
holler
I
at
didn't
her.
know that she was.
I hadn't asked her because for some reason I thought she lived out of state.
Huh. No.
Yeah, she can
No.
come down from Bella Vista. They ain't
Oh,
they
yeah.
ain't gonna break the bank.
Yeah. She's probably got a lot to talk about, especially homeschooling.
Oh, I would love to talk
She
to her.
loves. She does homeschooling and.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. And so,
Nice.
I didn't really understand that at first until COVID, and then I was like, yes.
Yeah. Does she
I
have an autistic child?
support- Yes.
Yeah, because I knew, yeah, because I obviously my sister Chelsea,
And my middle son is also on the spectrum.
really,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and some of my kids have, it is a spectrum.
Mhm.
There's
Whatever.
degrees
Right.
of it. I even have degrees of it in certain ways.
I feel like we all do.
Yeah, I think we all do, and I wonder because sometimes it gives people superpowers.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
Like Elon Musk is autistic. There's
Yeah.
no way he's not.
Albert Einstein.
Albert Einstein, like the most brilliant people, I think, are probably, Nikola Tesla. They're socially weird. They're not, they're so genius. Like they're on a whole nother level.
And I feel like that is just something that they categorized that. I don't feel like we are like, or people like that are just weird or abnormal. I feel like that is how we were really supposed to be, like being this way and being intelligent and seeing in a different view. And
It's a
so
hyper focused view.
we can totally learn from them.
Oh, 100%.
And I love that. I feel like that is how, our brains were supposed to work before we got programmed.
Well, what do you mean by programmed? Are you talking about like by the media, by that, or are you talking
Well, like
about
at
deeper
birth,
genetic?
Both.
Yeah.
I think both have to do with it.
You think vaccines and things with kids have caused autism and stuff, like RFK says? I haven't read all the studies. I don't claim to be an expert, but
Yeah,
I
I
know-
feel like that's a big one. I can't answer for everyone, but
well, nobody can.
For my middle son, I can say that I did have experience because I had an older child. And then when my middle son had his 6-month shots, he was not the same.
Really?
And then I caught it at 12 months old. And that's not very common for a parent.
How did you catch it?
I just could tell.
Yeah.
I just knew. I was like, he's not the same.
Yeah.
He was doing different things, and I know every child's not the same. Like,
Sure,
obviously, and I
yeah.
put that in mind as well. But I was the one that brought it to the doctor's attention, and then he was diagnosed at 4 years old, and was in therapy, and we did a lot of like whatever he needed.
Yeah. Is he high functioning or
Oh, yeah.
like okay? So
Yes, he's high functioning. Most people probably won't even notice that he has it. Maybe he
Yeah.
might looks a little different. Kind of
right,
off.
right.
He does STEM. He typically
Yeah.
walks. But he is so smart. This kid is smarter than I am. I'm like seriously, like
I
looking at his
believe you.
grades, and he's like in biomedics classes, taking AP biology.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, you guys are so intelligent. Like,
Oh, I'm looking at my
so
son's
intelligent.
4th grade math and going, buddy, you need to wait till your mom gets home.
Yeah.
4th grade
You're
math. I'm like, I got stuff to do, so I'm out.
yeah.
No, that's crazy.
No,
But-
I think that they are some very special people that we can absolutely learn from. I feel like they could be like great leaders for us too.
Well, there's a movie Predator. No, it's called The Predator. It would have been Predator 4. And basically, the Predator is after an autistic kid because autism is like a super gene,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, I mean, it can be.
Mm-hmm.
can be. It depends on the severity of your levels. But like my sister Chelsea's been on the podcast twice, and you can have 2 hour conversation with Chelsea, and
Right.
it's very conversational. There's just certain things she doesn't handle, that her brain doesn't comprehend the way ours does. But she's also better at certain things
Right.
than I am in ways. It's just so wild how genetics and the brain works, and how everybody has different combinations, and even the spectrum is so wide.
Not everybody's the same.
No.
Yeah.
And then you have the whole Downs community, which I love. I volunteered in Special Olympics back when I was in high school, and Chelsea was doing it a little when she was younger. Like, I've been around a lot of Downs kids. I've never met a more happy group of people. They just love life. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have the stresses. They don't have the worries. And like, they're just, I don't know. I love that. They're happy and they have fun. And my parents did a dance for special needs kids for years through Lifestyles, and where Dad would DJ, and they'd have these dances out there, and it was, it was a really special thing, those kids to dress up and, tuxes and go out and dance. It was kind of like a formal dance thing, and they had lights and all that stuff, and just to see them out there having fun and dancing. But again, special needs guys are guys, so you see some grinding out there, and you're like, yo, what's happening here? That guy's getting down with it, It's but they're still guys.
There's some other guys that
they're putting the moves on, man. I tell you what, I took my kids to one a couple Christmases ago. I think it was the last one they did, because one of the co-founders' son had passed away. It was a really tragic accident. But my kids hadn't been before, and so I was like, it's cool, because they'd never been around. Like, they'd been around certain special needs people, but not like 200 of them. And I was like, it's okay to, like, it's funny. It's fun. These guys are having fun. Like, they, go out and have fun with them.
Yeah.
Just, these guys are fun. They're funny. Have a conversation with them. Go up. These guys are just awesome. And the girl.
They love big.
Oh man, they love. Oh, so big.
They
love to hug too.
Yes.
Like, sometimes you got to say, all right, we've hugged enough.
My middle one, he has always been notorious for, I'm just like, any time of the day, like, Mom, I love you.
Yeah.
Just random. Mom, I love you. All throughout the day.
But you gotta love hearing that.
Yes, but I'm like, he's the only one out of my 3 kids that does that.
Yeah.
I mean, my kids all, like, tell me they love me. But he'll just repeatedly, like, tell me that throughout the day. And I'm like, you love so big.
Yeah.
Like, your heart is so huge. We need more of that.
Well, there's different kinds of spectrum. Like, my oldest one is like Spock from Star Trek. Like, he's pure logic, no emotion. He's like purged himself from emotion. He thinks it leads to downfall, and so he is like, he just does not want to feel. He is just pure logic. He's a great robot programmer. He's an engineer. He's all that stuff, but he doesn't feel emotion. And so I was like, I gotta get this kid to laugh. I gotta do something. So we started watching comedy. I was like, we gotta get some comedy specials. And so I finally got him kind of broken out of that shell a little bit with comedy, to where he'd start laughing, because he's so logical all the time.
Right.
And that was a real connection, watching comedy and seeing, okay, he does have a sense of humor. It's in there. You just got to find the right things to bring it out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I feel like Titus can be that way too.
Oh, that's a cool name. Where'd you come up with that?
Bible names.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a chapter in the Bible. It's,
Yeah.
book in the Bible.
Yeah.
Their dad was Jeremiah, and then Nathaniel.
Okay,
and so
cool.
all the boys that I had, I wanted some kind of Bible name. And so.
Very cool.
That's how.
That's a cool name.
But I'm always like, Tartus. Like, you were powerful.
But anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just like the name. But you were talking about.
No, I can't even remember what I was saying with that.
No. Well, you say he loves big, and that's my middle one and my youngest one are very. I'm the affectionate one in the family. Like, my mom was very affectionate growing up. Hugs, kisses.
I remember your mom.
I love you. Do you?
Yes, I remember her, like, with Chelsea and, like, whatever kind of functions we had at school. I remember her being right there and
Oh,
being
yeah,
such a supportive parent.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. She's always been that way. Yeah, it's if you don't know someone with special needs, you're kind of missing out, man. They
Mm-hmm.
bring such a different perspective, and
Mm-hmm.
they give you a different perspective,
Oh, absolutely.
you know, on life. And what's really sad
Yes.
to me, and I hope Chelsea doesn't mind me saying this, but you know, she wants so bad to be normal. You know, she wants to be, and I'm like, I'll trade places with you right now.
Like you are normal, girly.
You have it made, girl. Like you know,
You
like
are normal.
you're doing okay. Like I would
You
trade.
just stay where you at.
Man,
You
you
are
know,
blessed, girl.
yeah, they are so blessed, and they're well taken
Yes.
care of, and
And I mean, I'll be the first to admit, even like growing up with Chelsea, I mean, I knew that there was like some kind of different, similar or things, but we weren't taught like what, to look for and like,
well, back then it was
it was
unheard of. It
right.
was kind of hush hush, and there was a
Yes.
special ed room. It's not
Yes.
like today where it's normalized, and we all.
Yes. And then like having my son and stuff, I'm like, okay, I can look back and like, I'm like, okay, like, yeah, like these are like such brilliant, like huge, lovable people.
Yeah,
Like, and so that was very eye opening for me.
yeah, I'm sure.
Um, I don't know that I
Because
would.
you don't well, that's a new experience.
Mm-hmm.
You've never gone through that before.
Right. You didn't like you just weren't told and you didn't know.
You don't know what to expect,
Yes.
and you're never gonna,
Yeah.
because it's always gonna be a different day. You know?
Yeah. You never know.
No, but there were a couple times I remember in high school that I had to cross the street to the elementary because she was upset about some people messing with her.
Mm.
So I did cross the street a couple times and threatened some children, which statutes of limitations of 25 years ago.
As being a big,
But
a big
man,
brother.
God, I would get so mad when she would come home and cry. And
Oh.
what was his name?
Yeah. Right.
Whose class is he in?
That's the hard part.
You know, it was
Yes.
hard being an older brother
Yes.
to be, and it wasn't everybody. You know, a lot of people were very kind and stuff. But back then in the '90s, the retard thing got thrown around a lot,
Yeah.
and it was just not as acceptable as it is today.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of sad, to really think
It is.
that
Yeah, I
um,
feel bad. Like I didn't know. Like I wish I was more knowledgeable. Growing up and seeing that, and so I could have more of an understanding.
but don't
Um.
you think it's way more rampant now? Like when I grew up,
Yeah.
Chelsea was one of the first people I knew with special needs, and then she went to a special needs school when she was young, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't know, there was enough for a classroom in Fayetteville, and that was still a small amount, but something is happening. Like there's more and more. Like this wasn't going on in the 50s and the 60s.
Nope.
Something is happening to
Mm-hmm.
cause this, and I wonder if the cause is already done and it's now in the gene pool because it's absolutely genetic
Mm-hmm.
because so my sister, my mom has a brother, same, pretty similar uh, to my sister, and then she has an uncle that is also autistic, so there's definitely a gene.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what the cause was. I'm not going to claim anything. I don't know, but it's definitely more rampant than it has ever been, and it has become genetic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 No, I absolutely agree. Not just we're just more knowledgeable, but absolutely because I see it back in like my family tree.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, this is why they're Um, but honestly, I feel like they are the future for us. I just feel like
Man,
we need to have the way that they can deeply think about certain things and just really know what they know. I think like we could definitely learn from them for sure, if that makes sense to you.
I mean, I've learned a lot from them. I mean, the whole community. But
Right.
a lot of it, though, I mean, they don't have the responsibilities we have. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
simpler life. But you always want what you don't have, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you want to. when you're young, you want to grow up, and then you grow up and you're like, I've got all these bills and all these things and all these things. You know more than anybody as a single mom. Like Christmas is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and the economy's worse than it's been in my lifetime right now.
Yep.
Like 5 years ago, man, I thought I was banking. I was like,
Yeah.
I was putting money in the bank. I was saving up, and now I'm like, oh my God, we don't get paid for 2 more days. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're living paycheck to paycheck
Right.
because your money doesn't go as far.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making more money than I did 5 years ago, but it goes
Yes.
way shorter.
Yes.
Gas prices obviously drive up. I mean, if you think about supply chain and how that works,
Mm-hmm.
transportation is hauling all that stuff. So if their gas prices go up, they're going to charge higher rates.
Mm-hmm.
Then the people who are shipping, your big companies, they're going to have to raise their rates. And then we've gotten to a point where American families are struggling, the middle class, I should say. The poor always get poorer and the rich always get richer.
Oh yeah.
Because if you have money, you can invest money, But if you're stuck in the middle class like we are, and not to say we don't have a ton of blessings. I mean, we do.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. But it gets harder and harder and harder for us to
Play the game.
Yeah.
I won't be afraid to say that.
Not and not only that, but it's hard to not just be disgusted in this world. Back in the day, back in the 1800s, it might take a month for a letter to reach Nebraska about what happened in the battle of such and such, right?
Mm-hmm. Now
it's instant.
Mm-hmm.
We hear the news instantly. It might not even be reported correctly, and then everybody's got an emotional opinion on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the internet and social media has really, I think,
subliminal messaging.
It's wrecked us.
Yes.
That's
what they wanted, though.
Sadly, I do believe there is a greater design to it.
Yeah, that's exactly what they wanted. Because the lower vibration they can keep us, the better that they're going to keep.
Oh, 100%. And these people are beyond scrutiny. We're talking about Epstein, right? Epstein worked for someone.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't the top dog.
Right.
Who are those names? Who are the names that are controlling the government? Because to me, democracy is an illusion.
Yep.
Right? Trump didn't win because the people wanted him to win.
No.
Trump won because whoever the powers that be behind the scenes thought he could help them do what they needed. And I didn't say Israel. But anyway, I don't know. We don't have to get into politics. I just get so frustrated every day that I learn, oh, this is corrupt. This is corrupt. This is corrupt. There's corruption here. There's corruption here. It's like, and I've worked in corporate for almost 20 years now, and I've seen it. I see the directors and the vice president, and the higher up you get, the less people mean to you. Mm-hmm. They are numbers. Right? If you're lower level management, that's why I never want to get out of lower level management, because you're connected directly to the employee who's actually doing the job that's making the company run. The higher up you get, all you are is a decision maker. Mm-hmm. That's why when they do sweeping layoffs, it's always directors, right? Because what are you really doing? You're supervising somebody else who's supervising somebody else. We've got so many of these stupid positions we don't need in corporate, but, I get it.
I feel like we have the opportunity, and this might just sound like off the wall, but I'm just going to say it. I feel like we have the opportunity to flip the script.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Right now.
Mm-hmm. It starts now. There is more of us than there are of them.
I know that, but
majority of us are living in fear, and we are working and just barely scraping by,
yes.
or if not, that people are just doing without.
I've got car repairs that
they're baking like nonstop.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And they're just like a 1%. We need to realize that they're
1% controls something like 65% of the wealth in the country.
We have way more power.
Yeah.
But they don't want us to know that.
Well, poor people make bad decisions. A lot of them. Not saying all.
Out of fear, because that's
what
they want us to do.
But, there's a lot of people I know who are poor because they've made bad decisions. Mm-hmm. They're drug addicts. They're out, they just cannot get their shit together.
That's also from fear that was...
Sure. I'll give you that. But the middle class who is busting their ass to raise their children to lead them into what? What are our children going into?
Right.
What jobs are going to be like? I don't even know if my job's going to be available next year if AI is smart enough to do it, because AI is at an exponential rate.
Mm-hmm.
How is that going to affect us? How's that
They're
going to
gonna
affect
be
our
the ones
kids?
that turn this damn thing around.
Man, I hope so.
I have,
And that's what you want as a parent, is your kids to be better than
like,
you.
we're waking up to the truth, and they're gonna be the ones that make this happen. I mean, it will eventually. I mean, if we're, talking about God and everything, we already know who wins. So
Yeah, but if you believe in that, it gets worse before it gets better.
I think we're already doing that. Like, I
You
don't.
think we're there? So, are
Mm-hmm.
you talking about like Revelation, or are you?
Yes.
Okay, you believe in the Revelation prophecies, like
I feel like we've been, like, the churches and everything are maybe misled. Not that they're meaning to do that to people,
right?
but we have definitely been misled on that.
Oh, 100%.
And so what I grew up thinking Revelations was, is definitely not what I believe is now.
Well, explain that to me, because I've read the Book of Revelation more than I've probably read anything,
And it,
and
yeah,
I can't make a lick of sense out of it. And I've used a ton of I've listened to podcasts and explanations on it, and it's so vague
mm-hmm.
as a prophecy, but at the same time, it's not. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does. I mean, I have the
Like
same.
I can't assign necessarily like, okay, what's the what's the pale rider, what's this, what's that,
Mm-hmm.
but it definitely explains that the people basically are worshiping the wrong things, and things are going to get very bad before Jesus comes back, right? But then it's also, as a Christian, um, I don't know. I wrestle with Christianity about certain things of it. It's mostly the church, though, not the Bible itself.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
What you were being
I
taught.
guess sometimes I wonder why, like, if Jesus can come back and save us, why doesn't he do it now? And then the answer I always have is, it's like if you have a child, if you solve all your kids' problems, they're never going to learn how to do anything. And so, to a certain extent, I feel like we almost need to save ourselves. It's our responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
not his, not God's. Like, you know what I mean? Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Like,
Yeah.
if your kid's struggling through something and you do it for them,
They're not gonna learn.
they're not learning it.
Yeah.
And so I feel like we're in a test.
Yeah. I feel like the Earth is all. It's a school. The Earth is a school. And
I
so
believe
you
that
have
too.
to graduate from that. You can't just, like, start at kindergarten and be like, oh, I know
Yeah.
everything. You got to continue to, like, learn your lessons. If you don't learn what you're learning in each grade, then you fall back, right? And so you've got to
Absolutely.
continue to learn your lessons. And if we end up, when our time is done and we did not learn anything that we're supposed to, we repeat the cycle.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. Do you believe in reincarnation? Because that kind of.
And to an extent, yeah,
I don't believe the soul ever dies. I believe
no, absolutely
I believe
not.
your soul goes to a place. Now, I don't think heaven is like a big Thanksgiving dinner with all,
Right.
because like you've got divorces and family feuds. Like, I don't think there's like drama in heaven, right?
Right, no,
Like, or
no.
wherever we
I
go.
think that, I mean, we were always taught that, like, God is judgmental. He is a jealous God.
Well, the Old
He
Testament God
will,
is, and that's what Jesus changed.
but we need to figure out what God they were talking about.
What do you mean by that?
That's probably for another podcast. But
Okay. Because
yeah,
that's my jam right there. It's talking about that kind of.
like, who
I,
was it that they were talking about that was saying that?
you don't believe that's the same God that Jesus is God? You think it was a different?
Mm-hmm.
I do too. I believe it was the Anunnaki.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I believe in the Anunnaki. Call me crazy, call me Candace Owens, but I believe that an alien race manipulated our. Why is there such a gap between like Cro-Magnon
Well, I
and?
think it has to do with Satan, honestly.
But who is Satan?
Because he thought he tried to act like God.
So you think Satan is the God of the Old Testament?
Maybe.
The authoritarian.
Maybe. Because he would be like, you bow down to me.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah.
worship anything
Because the
else.
God of the
Like,
Old Testament
whoa,
is
whoa,
is
whoa.
exactly.
If you
Yeah.
do this, I'm going to throw you into like fire pit of
Yeah. It was
hell.
not a loving God.
I created you
Mm-hmm.
knowing that you're going to be this way, but then I'm going to throw you in a like fire pit of hell. Like, make it make sense.
Well, the Old Testament and the New Testament don't line up.
No, they don't.
Jesus completely flips the script.
But some people want to like, well, you have to pay attention. Like, oh, like,
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
I kind of feel like the Old Testament decanonizes the Old Testament.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like Jesus died for sins with his blood and all that. You know, and then that erases. You know, that is the sacrifice. That's the whole meaning of the sacrifice.
When Jesus was here, even that message was not transcribed like what he was trying to say. He was trying to say like you are like me. Me and God are one. You are the same.
Right.
I can perform miracles. I can walk on water. But he was in a very high vibration level.
Well, now you're getting into my jam. Yeah.
And so
Vibration
he was
levels.
trying to show this, like, you are the same. Like, remember, keep remembering. You have to train that. And even back then, not everybody was really understanding it, besides Mary Magdalene.
But think about the time they were living in. You know how brutal that would have been, that time?
It would have been like us just trying to do that right now.
I mean,
could you think about like us trying to like being like, oh yeah, like living back, like do this, we can walk on, like.
I think if Jesus,
how kind of like feedback would we have if we did that?
I think if Jesus came back tomorrow, we'd kill him again.
Yeah.
Sadly, that's what I think.
Well,
I think if he came back from I really believe.
Like there's a lot of us that are seeing it. I don't feel like that there wasn't very many that were trying, like, really getting what the heck he was trying to say.
What do you think his ultimate message was? Because he said a lot. He had a lot of great parables. I mean,
Love.
Ultimately, there you go. There
Love.
you go. There you go.
Love, not only yourself, but you love every single person, including those that hurt you. That has been a big lesson for me this year.
It's been a lesson for me this week.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm talking about.
Yes. Exactly.
It's like, golly, why you got...
I thought about that yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang.
Yeah.
Because that was the first thing that went through my mind after that happened.
Yeah.
Was like, gotta love.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, man. Oh, okay. Oh.
I know, it's a wrestle.
Yes. But that was the
You talked me off the ledge. I was like, man, this is... emotions.
And then you're like...
I'm a very...
You're right. You're right.
And my dad doesn't watch podcasts because he ain't gonna watch 2 hours worth of shit. But my dad's a very unemotional man, and my grandpa was too. They grew up in that generation where men do not show emotions, and I thought that was ridiculous.
They were trained that way.
Absolutely, they were trained that way. But my mother was very
that way.
Right. No, it's conditioning,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad doesn't know how to show love. You know, he never told me he loved me. He never did anything like that until I started saying it to him within the last 5-10 years, you know, and now we have a very close relationship. But like when I was growing up, he didn't know, he wasn't taught, he didn't, you know, but I had a loving mother. And so I'm a very affectionate person. I'm a cuddler. I like to, you know, I don't mind if my kid sneaks in bed with me at midnight.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
Because at one day they ain't going to do that anymore.
Yes.
So, you know, there's a lot of parents that are like, no, you're not getting in my bed and this and that. And I'm like, man.
I made that mistake with my older two, but now I'm like, I wish I could go back because I do it with my daughter. Like,
yeah, dude, I love sleeping with my kids when they come in there. It's just, I'm just like my 10-year-old. He'll wake up at midnight to go pee, and then he'll just come sneak in bed with me, and I don't even know he's there. And I'll wake up, and I just see him, and it's just like, this is not gonna last for long.
But what better gift is that your child feels safe?
So safe.
To you in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Like, that is such a blessing.
Oh, it is. And it almost, it's overwhelming. I feel like I'm going to cry.
No.
I love my kids so much, and the older two are never going to get in bed with me again.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's
But
true.
he still
Yes.
is, and it ain't going to last long.
No.
I think Max, by the time he was 9, he was on his own. I don't think Walter lasted much longer than that. But, you know, and I think it was kind of like a tough guy thing. It's like, I'm too old for that, you know. I
Yeah.
don't sleep with my parents anymore. And, again, like you said, you know, a lot of parents don't allow it.
Hmm.
My parents didn't allow it, which is kind of why I did allow it, because there were nights I was scared I want to sleep with my parents. And, like, no,
Same.
you don't sleep in the parents' bedroom. And so I would lay
I think
awake.
that's just how they were raised.
And it is, and I'm not trying to shit on my parents or anything.
Right.
That's
No.
it was just that's the
You
way it
understand
was.
it. Yes.
That's the way it was, and
People only understood.
I'm not shitting on them by any means, but
Yes.
there were nights when I was terrified and I wasn't allowed to go in there, and I would sit in my room and I would just be scared. I remember nights when I would turn the hall light on next to their bedroom and put my fingers under the door so I could feel like I was in there because I was so scared. And so I was like, if my kids ever want to sleep with me,
Yeah.
I don't care. It's not a big deal. They're not going to do it forever, you know.
Yeah.
And they don't, because eventually they're like,
They grow out.
Yeah, they grow out of it.
They're not going to be like a 16-year-old.
But as a 44-year-old dad, if I wake up at 2 in the morning and my 10-year-old is sleeping next to me, there is nothing more special.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll get up and go pee and come back to bed, and I'll put my arm around him and just snuggle that little son of a gun and go, I don't know how many more times I'm going to get to do this.
Yeah. And sometimes you don't even remember, like, the last time.
No. And there's sometimes I'll go to bed and I'll just go jump in bed with him. If there's room, like, I'll just get in bed with him. It's like, I'm just going to sleep with Theo tonight, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's weird to some people, but I think
I don't think so.
I love my kids so much, man, and I just...
That's a definite, like, deeper love that I feel like every parent should have,
Well,
honestly.
and that's another conversation, too, is that, you know, I feel really bad for saying this, but, like, people who don't have kids, I don't... Because my whole purpose in life is my kids and guiding my kids and raising my kids. And when they're gone, I'm already worried about, like, what is my purpose going to be? What am I going to do? What is going to be meaningful? They're not going to need me for the things they need me for right now. They're going to have, you know, maybe wives or other interests. You know, right now they're all very dependent on me and their mother. But at some point, what do you do then?
Yeah.
Like how, and that's the thing about getting older is when you're young, you think your parents are stupid and you know, you guys don't know shit. And I know everything, which is obviously untrue because you don't know shit when you're a kid. And then you grow up. But the weird thing about generational parenting is parents forget being kids sometimes. And kids have no clue what it's like being an adult, what the responsibilities are. So you can't appreciate your parents when you're a kid. All you can think is of yourself.
Yes.
Because you're not responsible for anything but you.
That's so true.
But when you're 40 or close to 40 and you got 3 kids, then you can say, okay, I see where my parents were coming from. Maybe I don't agree with how they did it, but they did it because they thought it was best. I know they loved me.
Yes.
I know they wanted to do what's best. They made mistakes. I've made mistakes. It's all about just... I mean, there's no parenting manual unless you got yours in the mail. I didn't.
No. I mean, I even tell my kids, I'm like, this is my first time doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you didn't come with a manual.
Nope.
I'm obviously by myself. Like, it's like your first year of being the age you are. Like, this is my first experience.
But you don't want to admit to your kids, like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Well, I
Trust
do.
me.
I mean, I do. I told them that now. I'm like, I just want you to understand. Like, because I'm like, I try to be as open as I can.
Right.
Then.
Yeah.
Not like, well, I just don't know what I'm doing, like, and they have all control over me. But it's just like, I've said that to them because I have messed up.
Yeah, so have I.
I have lost my control. Like,
Yeah.
I have, just been so stressed out and acted out, like, you know, in a way I did not like.
Yeah.
And then I would have to go back to them. Or I wanted to go back to them and apologize.
Yeah.
And because that was not something I really had growing up. I know my parents probably felt that way.
Yeah.
But they didn't say it.
Yeah.
And so I would tell them, like, you know what? I'm so sorry. I I didn't act the way or show the, express my emotions that I would like to have in a healthy way. This is my first time
But
doing
that's
this.
the difference between our generation and our parents' generation. My parents never once came in and said, "Hey, I did the wrong thing."
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They
Right.
were
No,
like,
they didn't. But I feel like, and not to like put them under like to a rug, but I think that's just how they were taught.
"We love you, moms and dads.
Yes.
We're just talking about."
Yes. Like you did great. Like,
You did your best.
You did the best.
I
you
wouldn't
knew
say
how.
great, but you did.
You did your best that you knew how. That's what I'm trying to say.
I love my parents to death, and they made
did
mistakes.
What
I've
they
made mistakes.
knew
They did the
was-
best they could. They didn't get a manual
Yes.
either, and they were learning from their parents.
That's exactly.
And
Yes.
so there's two kinds of
generations
parents
of-
that I see. There's the parent that says, "This is the way I was raised, and this is how I'm going to raise my kids."
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the flip where it says, "This is how I was raised. I'm going to do everything the opposite. Not everything, but like, here are the things I didn't like, and I'm going to change."
Yes.
And that's the kind of parent I am. It's like,
Yep.
I don't agree with this, and this. I'm going to do that differently. And it is rewarding when your parents tell you, "I'm so proud of you. Your kids are such great kids."
Mm-hmm.
You know, it gives you some validation. Not that you need the validation, but it's like, hey, thank you, because I'm doing it totally different than you did.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Like, my mother hated metal music when I was growing up. She thought it was the devil. She thought it was going to possess my soul. And my kids grew up on metal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my mom had a real problem with that. You know, it's satanic. And it's like, Mom, come on. You know, look at these kids. Are these kids satanic, or are they sweet little kids?
Right.
They like metal music. It's not evil. It's just something you don't understand and that you're afraid of. People are afraid of what they don't understand.
Right.
You know, and if you're a religious person and you're listening to the 700 Club every day and they're saying metal is evil, and you get that in your head.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I'm a metalhead. I love metal music. It's just, there's no feeling like having an amp turned up to 10 and just blasting out some riffs, you know.
Yes.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I feel like that also brings your vibration up, too.
You've used that word several times, and I'm a big fan of that word. Talk to me about what your understanding is of vibration.
You're putting me on the spot here.
I know. Because I don't fully understand it, so I want to hear what you think about it. Because like, they say the universe was created, well, I'm saying some ancient, like, Sumerian texts talk about, even J.R. Tolkien, the Silmarillion, he's talking about the creation of the universe. They say it was created with music, with sound, with vibration.
Mm-hmm.
And there's theories that the pyramids were built with vibrational devices, right? Sound, vibration, and you've used that term a couple times, and so I want to get into that a little bit. What do you think vibration or frequency is, and how does it affect us?
Well, I guess to not go so deep and like lose people would be to think about the Earth.
Do you think it's flat? We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But so I mean, if we think about the oceans, and then the moon and everything, it's all vibrational frequency. And so, even like the weather and everything that happens, earthquakes, like everything, it has to be. It's a part of like a vibration.
Yeah, it's an ecosystem.
Yes, and so if God created everything, trees, animals, us, we are also in that vibration.
Well, 100%. Well, we're creating the image of God.
Yes, but when we think about God, some of us think about like what the church says, and he is a physical being that is sitting up there in the skies on a throne that we're going to meet one day in heaven. But
well, what do you believe happens when you die?
what heaven is?
Or no, what happens when you die? Like,
Oof, we're going deep.
yes.
Yeah, we're going deep.
Best podcast ever.
Because I'm still learning, so I don't want people to like take me for my word.
It's your opinion. It's a podcast.
I feel like we have a choice. And if we're not in the mindset clearly when we pass,
Mm-hmm.
we might repeat
Go
those
back.
patterns
I believe that too.
because people are like, look at the white light. And so people will do that.
Right.
Or they might be like, well, there's some unfinished business. We'll talk about Casper. The movie Casper. There's unfinished business.
Casper the Ghost?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
movie, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
There's unfinished business that you still have to do.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
so you get tricked back and going through the cycle.
yeah. Yeah,
And it takes some people that I feel like your soul writes a contract before you're born. Like you write a contract and you sign up for what's going to happen, and you
You saying your soul, your spirit, while you're in some ethereal realm, agrees to go back.
mhm.
That's
And
wild because I also think that it, you use the term test. Life is a test.
yes,
You were talking about that.
yeah,
Yeah. And I like that. I like
yeah.
that a lot. I think life is a test. It's how do we cope with it?
Hmm.
What do you think happens to suicide victims or suicide, whatever term you want to use for them?
Oh, that's a deep one. That is so deep.
Because those people, and I know people who have, I've lost an aunt, I've lost a close friend, I've lost a grandfather to suicide. I know the mindsets they were in. I suffer with
Mm.
depression. I know it's easy to condemn them and say, "Oh, you're going to hell," but they're also very tortured people. A lot of times that
Yes.
feel like they have no way out, and I have sympathy for that. And
Hmm.
so, I don't, you know, I
They
feel,
repeat their cycle.
yeah, because you didn't finish the game.
Yeah, they
You got to
repeat it.
finish the game. Yeah. Do you think we have different identities when we die? Like like our real identity is not what we are now, it's what we are in another realm. And we visit.
Like what we look like we're not gonna look the same.
No,
Like
you wouldn't even
me
have an
or
image probably. You'd just be like an orb or some or I don't know. I
when you say like different, do we have different identities when we come back? Like what are you like? Are you meaning like we look different or?
Well, I'm saying like, oh, if you're talking about like if we come back in life, yeah, I don't think you'd be the same person at all. I think you'd have genetic memories,
Mm-hmm.
spiritual memories. I think that's what deja vu is. I think
Oh
it's.
yeah.
Yeah, you like that term. You felt it. You
Yes.
felt it before. It's a weird feeling.
Yeah.
It's a weird feeling, and there's nothing like it
Yeah.
in the world. But I'm aligned with you on that. I think, yeah, I think it's a game, and some people get to play it on easy mode, and some people have to scrap and scrape. Um,
I
I,
think some people have. A lot of us have gifts that we either have just been so programmed down to that we're not using those.
yeah,
And some, are seeing that now. For me, I feel like I have a huge gift. I know one of my gifts is a gift to intuition. It's very powerful. It's something I've always had, but I didn't always tune into it like I should have.
what do you mean?
Intuition. So, like, when your mind is like, okay, this is this, or hey, like, this might come,
Uh,
um, eh, sometimes people battle the intuition that they have with, like, thinking they make that up in their mind. And you have to be comfortable and understand that you have that gift for a reason.
yeah, and that brings up a whole nother question: is that what happens to people who waste that gift? Because a lot of people do, and a lot of people lose sight of it.
Then repeat their cycle.
I feel, well, So I'll give you an example of my life. My gift is music. I'm a songwriter. I love playing music. Like that was my whole life until Walter was born in 2012. We had a show. We were doing a Cinco de Mayo show. We were opening up for Hunker Down. It was a massive show. And she goes into labor at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, right before we're about to sound check. Like, go up there. I was like, well, I'm not going to miss my birth of my son, you know?
Right.
I almost delivered him in the car. Like, she was in the floorboard on her knees with her elbows on the seat.
Oh,
Like,
no.
I pulled up to the front and I was
can only
like,
imagine.
she's having a baby. Like, I asked her, I said, do you want me to pull over in the Walmart parking lot and deliver this baby, or do you want me to get to the hospital? And she's like, you choose. Like, it was that close. Like, it was coming out. Like, she went into labor at 3
That's
o'clock.
a strong woman.
She went into labor at 3 o'clock, and he was born at 4:20 on Cinco de Mayo. What kind of birthday is that? 4:20 on Cinco de Mayo? It's the most party birthday of all time. But that aside, we had to cancel the show. Celebrate. Anyway, that was the last show we never played. We stopped playing after that. I was like, I got 2 kids now. I just don't want to do it anymore. Until that boy who was born that got that show canceled is now my drummer.
That's what I was going to ask.
And
Was he your drummer? Is he your drummer
He's
now?
my drummer now.
Okay,
And
well,
yeah.
there's your answer.
So it's weird when you're talking about using gifts and stuff, you know, kind of like how that came about is like he basically ended my musical career by being born.
Right.
You know, it was like, hey.
Well, maybe. Like,
But now
you
we're
look at it that way, but
well, at the time he did.
yeah.
But I chose to focus on family over my own interests.
That's what you probably need. Like, that's what your soul contract needed.
That's what the right thing to do was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I need to be there for my wife. We have 2 kids now. It's not just one, you know, and so I wanted to be more of a father. It's really hard for dads, and I'll say this, I think a lot of dads would agree with this. It's hard for dads to be close to their kids when their kids are young. Mothers are very nurturing. They're very coddling and all, you know. For a dad, that baby is a lump of nothing. I have no interest in that baby you're holding, right? But when you're 5, right, and we can dig up worms in the backyard, or we can do. Dads are very tactile. They like, you know, babies are not. And so, like, I felt like a really piece of shit dad when my kids were young because I was like, I don't know what to do with them other than read them books. Like, they just can't, you know. But then as they got older, we started having things in common, and then they started gravitating toward me versus their mom, you know, which is a tough thing for a mom with boys. And, you know, my wife wanted a daughter so bad, and I probably mad at me for saying this, but I prayed every time she got pregnant that it wasn't a girl, because the girl would be in a basement in a cage when she was 16, because I was a pig when I grew up, and I know how guys are, and there's no way I'm letting a daughter out of my house.
No, I get it.
You know, like that dad, I'm
With
like...
like 2 boys and then a girl. I'm like, I totally get it. I feel for my daughter, too. It's not fair, but...
I do thank God every day for not giving me a girl, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, man, I kind of wish I had a daughter, you know? Like, I think...
your soft side.
Well, my problem is that if anybody ever tried to date my daughter, I just don't trust men, because men are pieces of shit when they're young. And some of them never grow out of it, but all they want to do is fuck, you know? And like, I don't want my daughter in an environment at a high school with 100 guys trying to fuck her.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
You know, and women, you know, the female experience is a different experience. It really is.
Yes.
Guys don't think about that. And that's why I never wanted daughters. And,
it's tough.
you know, when my sons are out, I'm not worried about them. Like, maybe they're doing some stupid shit. Hopefully they'll do the right thing. But if I've got a daughter out, like, I'm in the bushes with a spyglass and a grenade. You know, it's just a different thing.
Yeah. I know. I always felt bad for my dad. I'm like, how did you do it? Like...
3 daughters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you must have been...
Was he a tough guy when you brought guys home, like, for boyfriends? Like, what was he like when you...
Oh, I mean, I don't really remember. I didn't really bring guys around him. I mean, I didn't, maybe like one. I just remember him being very strict,
Yeah.
like super strict. So strict. Like I always called him a military like sergeant dad. Like, yes sir. Like I felt like I was in boot camp
Right.
as a
Right.
daughter. I
Yeah.
was like in boot camp. Like, let's do push ups. Like I was like that's how he raised us. And I always felt like he was really like way harder on me than the rest. Um and that's why
Well, you're the youngest,
I'm the
right?
youngest. Yeah.
You think that's why?
I always thought like, well, he just always wanted a boy.
Well, he has
And
a boy, right?
yes.
I mean, he's got an older son.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he was harder on you.
Uh huh. Yeah.
I think the babies get spoiled.
That's what everybody thinks. But I'm like, my dad, honestly, I feel like he was a lot harder on me than he was my middle sister. And I don't know if it was like this was his last opportunity to maybe get it right, and he wanted to make like he's seen something more in me, or whatever it what was. But I felt like I had to be perfect.
See, that's interesting because in my family, the youngest one gets away with all of it, and the older kids get sick of it, and I get sick of it because it's the third one. Mm-hmm. You're like, I'm over this shit.
I know.
You know what I mean?
That, but that
it's
wasn't
like
my
just
dynamic.
Yeah, no, that's odd to me because like a lot of the younger kids are kind of like just. My youngest one was raised by his brothers and wolves. Not even a joke. Like we just like that's the third kid. Like it's zone coverage.
Yes.
You know, like when you've got two kids, it's man, right? So you're like right on them. But then when you get that third one in there, you're playing zone. And of course, my wife does most of the heavy lifting. She homeschools and she drives them everywhere. But you know, when I get home, that's my time. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like we're, you know, spending time together, and it's so precious. Because it's so finite. You don't think about it. I think about my childhood all the time and how, like, what a wonderful, comfortable play. We're talking about kids sleeping in your bed. How and you mentioned how safe they felt safe enough, or they felt safe for coming to sleep in your bed.
Yeah.
I remember being a kid and just feeling safe and happy. I didn't have the responsibilities I have today.
Yeah.
You know.
Which is so crucial to feel.
But kids should be I really feel like kids should be raised in a safe, happy environment like that, you know, and there's so many.
You need to control your nervous system.
Hmm.
That is where that stems off of. Because if your nervous system is not controlled, you're going to spiral in different areas of your life in ways that maybe you don't want to. But you need to be able to control and balance that nervous system. That is the key.
How do you do that?
It's hard. It's hard. You've got to really. It's for both of us. It's balancing the feminine and the masculine.
Sure.
Because we both have it.
No, absolutely.
And so we've got to find that balance.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean like trying to find somebody else to fulfill that.
Sure.
That means finding that with yourself.
I'm a lot more feminine than my wife in a lot of ways. Like I'm the one who cries at movies.
Yeah.
And she's a rock, you know.
We
like,
are living
I'm
under Mother Earth.
I'm more emotional than she is. You know, like I'm the crier. Like I'm the one who and she's the more masculine in that regard, you know.
Yeah.
But it still balances out.
Right.
But like I still have like I'm
but
still.
the thing is, like, you have to do it within yourself.
I'm masculine in other ways.
You've got to find it within your own self.
Yeah.
Like the balance.
And yeah, absolutely.
That's where you can really love yourself, which is the first step.
I don't know if I can ever get to that point.
Well, you got to.
I hate myself, and I have so much guilt.
You got to do the heart
mountains of guilt. Yeah.
Work. You don't need to be feel guilty.
I think it's harder to forgive yourself than it is to forgive others.
Yes. I had this whole last...
Because you have no one to blame.
Yeah. This whole last year was... actually, if I'm being honest, the last 3 years was something that was something I struggled with. Because there was a certain thing that I could not forgive myself for. I could not. And it drug me to the ground.
Yeah.
And So
That's tough.
yes,
Because,
we
yeah.
don't need to live like that. That's not.
Well, I get in those ruts too where I'm like, I'm I can't see the positive. All I can see is the negative. I'm failing at this and this and this and this, and I didn't spend enough time with him today. And
That's a low vibration.
I know, but especially as a parent, you want to spend equal time with your kids. You want to,
Yeah,
Hey,
it's hard.
communal family is one thing where everybody's all in the same room. That's great, but I want to know you individually. I want to spend time with Max. I want to spend time with Walt. I want to spend time with Theo,
Right.
not just in a group setting. Like I want to give that individual time, and I try very hard to make that happen. And when it doesn't happen, or if I can't make it happen, I have a lot of guilt. That's why the podcasts are so, like, the scheduling stuff is like, because I don't want to waste, like, if I have time, like, I won't do a podcast if my kids are home. You know what I mean? Because, like, I have
I
a
don't blame you.
finite amount of time with my kids. So if my kids are home, like, I don't do them. So I got to find windows when they're out and about and stuff, like right now, like, because again, it's such a finite amount of time.
That's
You think
how
about,
I've been trying to do my business from home, and
do you do it from your house?
I do. I have a shop building.
Oh, that's
I have a
nice.
studio
Awesome.
I built inside there.
Oh, sweet.
So yeah, I do it there. I've always operated my business at my house. I have yet to go into like another studio.
Does that make you? Because I get nervous about. I've had some drama on the podcast before. Some crazy people being on, and was terrified for a while. Had a. I don't really want to get into details, but one of the guests that came on ended up in another guest getting the shit kicked out of him. Weird scenario, and it made me really paranoid about like having people over to where my family lives, and so like
Gotcha.
that's
I know
a
what you're meaning.
that's another reason that I like really put the brakes on the podcast. Like I used to do 2 a week. I did 100 episodes last year.
Yes.
I don't think I'll, I won't do a podcast unless it's somebody I really want to talk to and somebody I don't think's gonna, like be crazy.
Yeah.
Because I, this is where my family lives, and
Yes.
it's like if you allow crazy into your life, and as we experienced this week, it's a nasty thing.
It
and,
is.
and it makes you afraid.
Yeah.
That's why I got cameras everywhere. I got
I
motion
was like,
sensors.
I got cameras.
It's like somebody asked me one time, was like, how do you stay protected up here? I was like, laser sensors, cameras, dogs, and guns in that order. And yeah, God's always watching, but hey, once you get to the gun point, it's over. If you get past the dogs, you're going down.
Yeah, I mean, I used to, when I first started my business, I was spray tanning men, and it wasn't very common at all. Like, men was here and there. But then
you talked about that a little bit on the first pod,
Yeah, I stopped doing that.
I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that either if I were you.
Yeah, but
I totally get that.
It is. It is.
Not to bring up anything like that you don't want to talk about, but like, did you have any like bad experiences?
There was like one. I wouldn't say it was like terrible, but
just made you uncomfortable. It was like, I don't.
That was enough to.
To say enough of this, because it could have been a lot worse, and you know that.
Absolutely, yes. And so, doing.
Yeah.
We're risking, some things.
Well, especially if it's at your home again, and these.
Yep.
It terrifies me, and I really, really think about it a lot.
Especially like being a female.
It's a different experience. It really is. I feel like feminism got a little too far, though. I feel like the dynamic got to where women are like, well, we can do everything a man can do. And then they did it. And then the man was like, well, what am I supposed to do now? It's like,
balance us.
We got to figure out our balance now, because we are in a world where men and women are equal for the first time since
That's why Adam and Eve were there. It was a balance.
It has to be, and you got to find that balance.
We were taught that,
but as a society, we haven't gotten there.
Yeah.
I still feel like there's a lot of that feminist ideology, and
I think it stems off of the Adam and Eve story that we were taught.
Think so?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
honestly, if we look at the real picture of that, what I believe is that they were created to be a balance, but the story that we're like, well, Eve was created out of his
Rib
rib
and all that,
and
yeah.
all that, and then she was like she did the first sin, yada yada. But no, it was more like your parallel, your balance. Like you both needed it. You both need that feminine and that masculine,
Oh, I agree.
and that's how you make this work.
Yeah. Well, and that's like I was talking about being. I'm much more feminine in ways than my wife, but I'm also like super tough guy when it comes to certain shit. It's like you don't take shit from anybody. You learn how to roast people, right? You want your kids to be prepared. You know, you teach them how to shoot guns. You teach them how to fish. You teach them how to do things that they can survive. You know, and those are
Right.
not things their mom's doing.
Yeah.
Those are things that I'm like, I need to teach them this.
Yeah.
So there is a balance. You know, I have my balance. I'm gonna cry at a movie, but hey, I'm gonna go, shoot an AR with you.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You know, but it's also what's kind of funny is like I'm a tantrum dad. Like I just play it cool and I play it cool and I play it cool and then I lose my shit. I just fucking explode.
You had enough.
And it drives my wife nuts. She's like, you just go crazy. And I'm like, those kids are not afraid of me. They know it's bluster and they know damn well I'm just popping off. Like, it's not like these kids are terrified. Like, Dad's going to hurt us. These kids are so used to me doing it. They're just like, they just roll their eyes, But, like, I just get in the mode sometimes. It's like, God damn it, I'm fucking sick of this shit. I'm tripping over on the stairs. I've asked you 16 times to pick this shit up. You just go on a tantrum, right? And they're not afraid. They're just like, oh God, Dad's popping off again, And then but they start doing it because they're like, he's just crazy enough to where he might fucking do something.
Yeah.
So let's just do what he's asking and get past this.
I know. Yeah. Like my kids are like, what's wrong? And I was like, well, I told you like 5 other times, and like I now have to be a little psycho. For
my wife makes me feel so bad about it. She's like, you just get so mean and you just yell at him. I'm like, they like fucking times. Need it. They need it, and they're not afraid of it. They know
they're not taking me serious. Like the first few times, like my kid, they're like, "Well, what are you gonna do?" And then I'm like,
"I might." You want them to think you might kill them. You want to get to that point.
I brought you into this world,
maybe, and I can take you out. That's the clip right there. What's the timestamp there? It's 1 hour and 37. Yeah, I think we're going to ditch the last one. This is way better.
Okay.
We're not sick and half drugged.
Yeah, right.
I was watching that last one, and I was like, oh, it was embarrassing. I was like, I felt so bad. So I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I was conscious, but I was just like drugged out. But this one's been a better one anyway.
Yeah.
I'll just throw this one out.
Yeah.
But you had some announcements still. We haven't gotten to. Like, you were talking about a book last time that we did not get on camera because I fucked it up somehow.
Yeah, you're good. Yes, I have been brainstorming the idea of getting a book started. And so hopefully this coming year, I'll be able to pursue that dream and get something published. And
I'm a songwriter, so 3.5 minutes, right? And I'm done. A book is a long undertaking.
It is.
I've never done a book. I'm afraid of writing a book. It just seems so monumental. Where do you even start?
I'm going to start from when I was a little girl. My
Really?
inner child. I'm going to start from my inner child.
Really?
And then go from where I am now.
So you're going to kind of do a chronological journey of where you've been.
Yes.
Everybody should do that.
Yes.
Or a podcast.
I've been feeling like being pushed by God that I, like for a very long time, even before my mindset is where it is now, to write a book. And now I am like seeing the signs everywhere and I'm like, okay, I get it. I need to use my voice. And I need to branch out more than what I'm just doing with spray tans because
with like doing like spray tans with my clients and like kind of being a therapist with them and giving that space, like that safe space with them
Sure.
when they're like very vulnerable. I feel like is a gift, not to like toot my own horn, not that, but
Well, you've got to, I mean, give yourself credit for what you're good at. I mean,
well, I mean,
that's not
I
arrogant.
was just doing what I naturally do.
You know, it
and
would be
didn't notice it.
You know what would be fun? Is to come in and get a spray tan from you and film it.
And then I could talk you through, like be your little therapist and stuff.
I don't think I could abide being spray tanned, but it would be a funny video.
Yeah, we could do that.
We
It'd
should
probably
talk
make a lot
about
of,
that.
like, a lot of views.
I would be highly uncomfortable, but it would be funny.
You be in like your little underwear though.
Oh no! I gotta be like no, I can't get down to that. I gotta. We'll just do like the arms or something. Like, what a ridiculous concept, but it sounds so.
We're
It
not
sounds
gonna go all out.
sounds so funny. Well, I mean, we can go. I mean, I can put some boxers on. We can do whatever, but I just think it'd be a funny video because
Yeah.
like that's like the most antithetical thing to my like. I just couldn't see myself getting a spray tan. I love your business. I love what you do. Like it's just not something I would ever do, and I think it would be funny for people
Yeah.
to see me do that.
Yeah. Especially with like your skin tone and everything. It's like mine too.
Pasty.
Very like fair skin.
Yeah, we're pasty.
I don't tan. I like everybody knows me like personally that I do not tan. I just only get tan with a spray tan. So
Do you know Jordan Darling?
Uh-huh.
So
I mean I don't know her, but I know who you're talking about.
well, she's got her business. God damn, what's it called? House of Handsome. But I had her. She came on the podcast and gave me a haircut. We did a podcast like she was cutting my hair.
Oh, nice.
And there's a great clip out of it where because she also shaved me with a straight razor. And I was sitting right back here. We had the camera on me, and the rest of the crowd was in here as a group pod. So we had two cameras going, and she had this straight razor out, and I was watching the screen because I could see it because I was sitting back there, and I could see the straight razor on my neck. And I said to my buddy Jason Stillwell was over, and I said, "Dude, this bitch could kill me right now." And she goes, "Call me a bitch one more time, and I will." I clipped.
Good for her.
It was like a 5-second. I clipped that out. That was awesome. But yeah, she came over and gave me a hair. It looked really sharp. Looked really nice. She did a fantastic job.
Okay.
I'm just not a hair guy because I like hats, so I'm like always wearing my. In fact, I shaved my head last night. I told you so.
Well, now you need a spray tan.
Let's do that.
I think that
We'll do that.
Your audience needs to see you with a spray tan.
That'd be fun.
I could even put like an American flag on your back.
What?
Yeah, like we'll put stickers on your back, and then I'll spray tan you, and you can have American flag on your back.
Oh, that'd be kind of sick.
Yeah.
Just for a picture.
Yeah, if
'Cause
that's what you want.
Yeah, and I'm so ripped. I can flex, all the muscles.
I've
And
been wanting to do that, and so I'm like, yeah, let's do that.
at some point, when you have a dad bod, fat looks like muscle. It's like like the fat goes to the right places, and you look more muscular than you are.
Yeah.
Until you try and do something physical, like Theo got the chainsaw stuck in the tree the other day, and like right at the spot where it was hinging. And we couldn't get the tree out, and the tree's this big around. And I'm like, fuck. So we had to get a maul and chop. Of course, he can't hold the maul. He's 10. And so I'm out there mauling on either side of the blade where it's stuck to try and get the pieces of the tree to knock over. And then we had to get a tampon bar, and so I'm prying this thing. And so I'm out there doing this for like 10 minutes. And I feel like I'm having a heart attack.
Oh, no.
I'm so out of shape. And I'm like doing all this aerobic, like heavy stuff. And I'm like, I'm 44 and I am dying. I need to get in shape. Like at some point, you see a lot of older people like in their 60s and 70s start exercising and stuff. And even the experts say like by then it's too late. Like you almost can't build up to.
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
I say it's never too late.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
The point is I'm incredibly out of shape. Do you do any exercise?
I have been actually doing some yoga.
Really?
I've never done yoga in my life. And
What is the appeal of yoga? Is it
I'm just like listening to like the spiritual music and just
is it a
being
vibe
able-
thing?
Yes.
Does it feel good?
It does, because I'm able to be like way more flexible like during that music time. And that sounds just so weird. That would sound
I think
weird
it-
to me before I did it. But yeah, it is like at nighttime before I go to bed. And my daughter's actually starting to do it with me now.
Oh, that's fun.
It is.
That's
and
special.
So like I'll do like some like stretching, and then we'll do like some yoga, like listening like to certain music, and then here I am doing things that I would have never thought I could do at the same
You know what I think would be fun for the podcast is to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because we got GoPros. We do it for eagling and stuff. For dirt biking. I think it'd be fun to like do a spray tan, to do like just things I would never do in real life.
There you go.
And just
Next year should be all about
I think that's a good idea for
stepping
next year.
out.
Doing just crazy stuff like yoga. Now,
Trying
hold
new
on. If I do
things.
yoga, I'm not wearing ass pants. I'm wearing like pajama pants.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm
As
not.
long as you're not wearing jeans.
I mean,
You'll need to be, more
jeans
stretchy.
are comfortable. Oh, yeah. Okay, pajama
If
pants.
you could do the splits and jeans. then
I'm
yeah.
not wearing anything that shows the dimples in my ass. I mean, that's not happening.
Ah.
Nobody wants to see that.
Hey,
Neither
we
do
might get
I.
a million views.
If that's what gets me famous, I will just quit.
There you go. Way to have high standards.
I got viral for the dimples in my ass. I made it. No, I think that'd be fun though. Just do crazy shit.
Yeah.
Actually,
Step out
yeah, but
and experience new things.
it's both. Well, you talked about like coaching cheer. You've never done it, and you're a little, first time I coached. It's like anything
Yeah.
you do that's new. It's
You
just
might really enjoy it and find a new sense of yourself with
well,
it.
even if you don't, just doing the experience and saying, "Hey, I tried that." You know, it might not be for me, but like at least I was willing to have the experience.
I think people would be more like, I feel like they would beat themselves up on not taking that opportunity, regardless if it was for them or not, because they're always going to think about it if they didn't try it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be in the back of their head for, ever.
We should
so-
collaborate some next year.
Yeah.
I think that'd be
That's what I'm
fun.
stepping into.
Yeah, we always got a home here. Anytime you want to talk about anything or promote
Yeah.
anything. What else do you have coming up? Is there
Well, a book for sure will hopefully be in this next year.
So do you think
And
2026 is like when you're going to write it?
Yes.
Like next year?
Yes, that is my goal, is to go ahead and dive into that. I've been putting this on the back burner for
A while.
a while.
So do you have are you going to do an outline of kind of a breakdown, or are you just going to just Stephen King it and just jump in and just start writing?
I'm not maybe Stephen King. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to say too much because I don't know 100%. I just know it's going to happen whenever in that timeline of next year.
Well, it'd be fun to keep track of it. Like
Yeah.
I'll have you on again in a couple months and
Yeah.
see, or just kind of see where you're at on it.
Yes. Yeah. I'm excited about it.
And you can that's the cool thing about today, that the 90s were great, but like right now I can produce an album in this room, once I get all the equipment set up. I'm not there yet, but I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
You can write a book at your house.
Yep.
You don't have to go through a publisher. You can self-publish and
Yes.
self-promote, and the harder you work, the more success you will have.
Mm-hmm.
Still, the American dream is out there. It's
Oh,
just how hard
yes.
people are willing to work. And what I'm seeing nowadays, people just don't want to work hard.
Yes.
And
That's so true.
I kind of feel like the bubble I'm in is like I've got a full-time corporate job, and I've got 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to do a podcast and be in a band.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I need to do more. And so I always feel guilty that I'm not doing more. But I'm like, where can I fit
Start
it in?
slower and just, Yeah.
You just, I always feel guilty that I'm not doing.
Go with the flow. That's what I've had to learn, because I feel like I've always been such an overachiever. And
so hard.
I'm a planner. I need instant.
Are you a control freak?
I was. I am definitely learning a new aspect of that, and I've gotten a lot better. I have.
So you were bad.
I, and then, yes. Yes.
I was just joking, but you're like, yeah, I was.
Well, I mean, to be honest
I
with
was
you,
a
it
tyrant.
was. And the reason why it was that way was because I was trying to protect myself from getting hurt.
That's an interesting psychological revelation.
Yes, I wanted to have control of what was going to happen because I did not want to have that hurt. That trauma.
Wow, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
That's
And
what
so
causes that, right?
It wasn't like I was just a controlling person. It was I wanted to have control over what was going to happen to me.
Which makes you a controlling person.
Yes, it might look at as
But
negative,
but your
is
reasoning for it stems from that's actually a really
Uh-huh.
explosive revelation to me because I know a lot of controlling people, and then I like you think about like why are they that way?
Yes.
It's because they've been in situations that they can't control.
Yes.
And then you say to yourself, I am not going to allow that to happen again.
They're trying to make
there's certain
create
things.
a safe space with
There's
themselves.
certain situations I will no longer ever put myself into because of things that have happened.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I get that.
Yes. Yeah. I've learned so much, and I'm like, okay, because like I always got like told like, oh, you're controlling. Well, you always want to take initiative, and I'm like, well, my heart doesn't feel like I'm being like in a negative way, and then I had to learn like through therapy. Why was that?
Yeah,
And
but you learned
so,
why, and then you recognized
and I was
it.
like, okay, that does make sense. Like I'm not being it like as like vindictive or
So what you're saying, it's not coming out of a place of malice. It's coming out of a place of fear
protection
and protection
for myself.
for yourself.
Yes,
yeah.
because of the trauma that I've experienced. In the
And that
past.
makes absolute sense. You mind if we take a quick commercial break?
Yeah.
I gotta pee. Set. All right, we're back. So you got more news. You not just a book. You're also venturing into another world.
I am.
Tell me about this.
So I was invited to do my own episode for a TV show that just talks about relating to women that have went through many struggles in their life and being a single mom and still continuing on and making something of themselves and building, like for me, building their own business from the ground up without maybe their other partner being in the picture. And so, and it also kind of relates to the inner work that I have naturally been doing with my clients that I guess has separated me from other spray tan artists because I'm not just bringing those clients in and just standing there giving me a spray tan. I actually talk to them and get to know them and build connections with these clients. Some of them are brand new. I mean, they always start obviously brand new coming to me, very nervous walking in, but then
Why are they nervous?
because they're going to have to be in a very vulnerable state where they're either naked or almost naked. And that's very intimidating.
That's fair. That's fair.
Even though it's another woman there.
Yeah.
Like we are all very self-conscious with our
Oh,
bodies.
absolutely.
It's just a natural thing for us.
Yeah.
And I get it because I know what I felt like before I ever became a spray tan artist because I was going and getting my own spray tans from another person, and I understand them.
What do you think would happen if a male opened a spray tan business?
That would be weird. I know that there are some out there, like in like New York and stuff. I mean, there are some.
This ain't New York, honey.
But no.
I don't think it would go well at all.
That would be different.
Well, it would actually turn into a gay porn shop.
Yeah. I mean, I when I first started this, I was doing, men that would come. It wasn't very common, but there were some that I did. But then I decided for my own protection and for my children that I would still continue to spray men, but only under the condition that if it was like a vacation with their spouse.
Yeah, you need to be
Or
careful about that shit.
yes,
I
I
totally.
always said that like I'm okay with spray tanning you as long as
I'm
you
not even your
bring
dad, but I'm
your
just like.
significant other with you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
yeah.
whether that's your girlfriend, your
Right,
like
right, right.
whatever you classify them as.
Right.
As long as they're there.
But
and
that's
they're
a good
present.
decision that you made.
Yes.
Like that protects you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who knows what the hell? There's a bunch of crazy assholes out there.
Gotta be smart. So, yeah.
So when does filming start? Do you know?
Very soon.
So we can expect to see something. You got to produce it, and then maybe do you know when it's going to come out?
Not yet,
Okay.
but I mean, I wouldn't expect anything until at least this summer.
That's exciting, though.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Yes. This is my second opportunity for this, and so I gotta listen to how what God is calling me into to do, because I was very bad at just ignoring that and just thinking it was in my own head. But you know what? It's okay to be like, you know what? You're powerful. You have a story to tell. You went through what you did for a reason. You have to be a lighthouse for others, not just like, oh, me, 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 me. It's not about that. It is to share the light for others to have that that confidence and trust that, I mean, or hope. That's what I'm trying to say. That hope that you can keep going no matter what trials come your way, because I guarantee you that if when my story gets told fully, people are gonna be like, really?
Well, are you talking about more of the book?
The book is gonna explain that too.
So is this a tell-all book? Like, are you gonna lay it all out,
Like,
or
don't hold anything.
and you're gonna publish it, self-publish it?
I don't know.
Try and find.
Yeah. Yes.
That's kind of where I'm at as like a musical artist. Like, you can self-publish, which is a bitch and a lot of work, or you can find a distributor and sell your soul and go that route, right?
Yes.
And then I've known people that, I'll just say, made it, right? They made it in the rock world. When I was trying to, our band broke up over a management deal when I was 21 years old. Like, that was my life. I had football scholarships, I had academic scholarships, but I was playing in a band that had a management contract. We were opening up for national acts, and I was like, that's my life. So you get 2 years in, your manager's fucking you, and you find out about it, you fire the manager, the band quits, and then you're like, oh shit, I'm 20 years old and I have nothing now. Like, I completely failed. So I went to college and do all that. But now, like, we're in a different world where, like, you can do it yourself. You don't need, like, I've seen the stuff, like some of the promos you've put out. I was like, oh, fuck, that's really good. I mean, it's simple stuff, but it's effective. You know, like, I don't even know how you did that shit, because I'm 8 years older than you, so I technically probably identify as a boomer. But you're putting out, man, you got to show me some of that. We'll share some skills, I hope, because
you know, and I think that is due to a lot of my my rebirth that I've had this year. I'm
paranoid about the recording thing because we lost that last segment last time. I keep looking at. Sorry.
So yeah, like the rebirth that I've had this past year, I felt like I need to stop ignoring what I'm being told and go full force with, like, put your blinders on. Because I had my biggest thing, my ego that I'm still trying to let go of, is what do other people think? With being so honest and open.
Well, hold on. You care?
Yeah.
What other people think?
I do. Like, that's a big thing.
So that's the thing you have.
Yes.
Because see, that's
Yes.
part of my autism is that I don't give a fuck. I never have, and I think
And
it's
I always
because,
have.
and you have. So that's a weird thing because, and that's a childhood thing.
Mm-hmm.
My
yeah.
mother was very concerned about appearances and looking good and being presentable, and I was like, that's all fake.
Yes.
It's all fake. And so I grew up that way, and so now the kind of dad I am, the kind of person I am, is like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be me.
Yes.
If I can't be me, then I don't even want to live. If I have to live in this fake environment and all that, and hey, nothing wrong if you want to play that game. I'm not judging
People
anyone.
pleasing.
But it's funny to hear that you are concerned about what other people think.
I was. Yes, but this next
Because you
step,
don't seem like
well, I'm working on it. That's what I've done this past year. That's been a lot of work that I've done. That's why I've been so open.
What is it that bothers you about, like, just curious as somebody who really just doesn't give a fuck. Like, if somebody judges you who's not important to you in your life, what does it matter?
Exactly. What does it matter?
Right.
I used to think it did.
And if it's somebody important to you, then you can talk to them and work it out, hopefully.
Right. Well, I mean, like,
but like strangers
I've
or
had to
acquaintances,
learn
like, who gives
that
a fuck?
I am not here to chase anything. I am here to be my most authentic self and be raw and open. And just like there was like a month ago that I had shared me crying, a live video.
I saw it.
I had a breakdown. I was stressed out. I was overwhelmed. I had just got done with a full night of tanning. And then I was also feeling like I failed as a mom because I wasn't in the house at that time.
Why did you share that video?
I felt called to.
Really?
As soon as I was in the moment,
Yeah.
I felt like, okay, Amber, you need to share this. And so I did, and I was kind of scared at first.
Because there's two views on this, and I'm just playing devil's advocate. Like, because there would be people because that felt genuine to me. Like, I saw.
I had great feedback.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying there would be people who say this is a disingenuous thing to get clicks.
Right.
Because there are people who do that.
Yes.
I'm not saying you did that. I've seen the video. I know what you did was genuine, but you could see, like, because there are a lot of people who put the camera on and do that kind of shit. So you gotta, the internet's a fucking wild place.
I can't say that it didn't cross my mind when I was being told to do it, and I was like, okay.
Well, you keep using the term being told. Is that a relationship with God?
God is like. I mean, it tells us in the Bible many times we are one.
But you're not hearing literal voices. You're getting intuitions.
Intuition is a big one, but also I have always felt like I could hear him.
In what way?
Sometimes,
and since when?
From as long as I can remember.
Really?
Yes. But I ignored it because I thought it was just my own mind saying something, or I would make that up myself. And it took a lot of growth to realize that wasn't the case. It was when you realize like who God truly is and your source. Like that is like it's one. Like you have that power to know. And I know other people, maybe not they might not hear, that voice, and that's okay. But that's just where it comes from me, and it has from day one. I've always
I don't
had that.
think a lot of people either have it or listen to it. I think some people have it and just don't listen to it.
Yeah, they brush it off. They maybe think it's like their own thoughts. They don't trust it that it.
Christianity involves a lot of faith.
And that's stems off of it.
But also pure faith is stupidity, right? If I take my baby and say God's going to save him, I'm going to throw him over the edge of a cliff. That's stupidity.
Right.
Right? That's not faith, right? Like faith is a different thing. It's a struggle for me too because I believe in a higher power. I believe in the teachings of Jesus and all that stuff, but it gets tricky because you get geopolitical. I grew up being in Farmington, and then you're in Arkansas, and then you're in the United States, and then you're in the world, right? And global politics starts factoring in. And I didn't really follow politics at all. I mean, I was a nerd. I mean, you see my walls, you see the kind of shit I'm into.
It's beautiful.
I no longer read science fiction. I no longer read fiction at all. I'm so paranoid about the world my kids are growing up into. Like, all I listen to is geopolitics now, and like what's going on in the world, what's happening. I have sons that are close to military age, and it was, by God, I remember being, in my 20s saying those pussies who didn't fucking fight in Vietnam, they should have been executed and stuff. And now I got sons, and it's like, oh, that kid didn't know shit. Now I got a boy who's about eligible to go,
Right.
and I will do anything in my power. I will tunnel a fucking place to Canada to get my kid out of here if he doesn't have to fight no war. Why is it that we're in 2025, we're more sophisticated than we've ever been, we have the best technology we've ever had, we have everything, and we're still at war and killing each other, literally murdering each other?
It's the agenda.
Of course it is. How do we remove these people? Like, I know we have power, but how do we utilize that power on a global scale and remove these people? I think Trump's a good start, but I mean,
honestly, I don't feel like it takes like someone like that to do the inner work that is already happening with a lot of us. There's more people out there like me, and it takes us to question. Is the first start. Question and do your research and pray and like do your like grounding and meditation, and get to that remembrance and remembering who the heck we really are.
yeah.
What our power really is. Why the higher ups did not want us to know this. There's a reason why they didn't want us to know this. And
knowledge is the most valuable thing on the planet. It's more powerful than money.
Yeah.
InfoWars.
Absolutely.
Knowledge is power.
Yes. And so when you're vibrating on a very high frequency, you're going to naturally attract and awaken other people. You won't have to do anything.
Sure.
Like, you're just going to be there.
But here's the problem. There's a great quote by the drummer Mike Portnoy from Dream Theater talking about the 90s versus like the 2010s. He said in the 90s there were thousands of bands making millions of dollars. 20 years later there were millions of bands making thousands of dollars. That's where we are now, because everybody's doing it on their own, right? There's no big mega stars anymore. There's a bunch of mini stars, right? That's not necessarily a bad thing. But that's kind of what you have to do, is create your own environment. You can do it. You can do anything on your own if you have the time and the resources, and a lot of it's cheap. Like, cameras are cheap.
It's more like the faith.
This was a shitty camera I got for, I can't even remember why I got this. I think it was for work, like when I was working from home. Because it's not even like an HD camera. I need to upgrade my camera. But like, to me, a podcast is just a conversation. It doesn't matter what the visual looks like, because the content is the
true,
the back and forth.
the true
The
true energy that.
And getting to, because you've brought me so many new perspectives of things. That's why I love a podcast, is because when you actually sit down and talk to people, which we don't do anymore as humans, we have small talk.
Yes.
How's work? How's the weather? Oh, what do you think about the Razorbacks?
Yeah.
You see the Cowboys game?
Or you just kind of text.
That's not fucking conversation. But what a podcast does is it really lets you, like, your perspective adds to my total knowledge, and I feel like I've learned a lot from you. You
That's
know, and
what
I
we're
think that's
supposed-
what's
yeah.
beautiful about sitting down and talking to somebody. And I really look forward to reading your book. That's cool. I know.
I'll make sure you have a copy.
I've got a couple of friends who Hal Henson wrote a book that I've got a copy of, his daily kind of meditations, and then my buddy Ty Carlson is a science fiction author. He's written a trilogy, and I'm supposed to read the first book and then do a podcast with him, but I have not had time to read it. And I think our podcast was like 6 months ago, so I'm still trying to get to
Well,
it.
consider this your sign. Like, you already have like a pattern going on right there. So,
Well, I got to get a spray tan at some point,
oh, well, yeah, we'll do that too.
so we'll do that. We'll
Well, I'll do it live. Make
Well,
that.
I'll have my kids. I'll have my kids wear the GoPros, and so that way
There you go.
we can just, have a couple camera views. That'd be
Yeah.
fun. I think
Yeah, no, it would be. Absolutely.
it'd be totally humiliating and embarrassing, but
Hey, there you go.
it'd be good promo.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that would just kind of step out like your own, like.
Yeah, I'm
gotta be
so uncomfortable. I'm so
That's where
uncomfortable
you
with the
grow.
very thought of even doing it.
But that's where you grow.
But I want a picture of an American flag on my back now because you mentioned it.
Yeah. No, I love
That'd
it.
be fun. I'll bring the kids out.
I've
We'll-
been wanting to
we're-
do that. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll do that.
No,
We'll do that.
I'm on board.
Okay, right on. We
Yes.
got it. It's a date. We'll
Yes.
do it.
Yeah.
I'll get some. Well, I won't hire them. I'll what's the word? Coerce a couple of cameramen
Okay.
to come and
Yeah.
wear some GoPros, and
Sounds
we'll
good.
do that.
Yeah. I'll have to
And-
show you my studio and everything.
I would. That'd be great. We'll take the pod on the road. We'll do
Yeah.
that after the holidays. God damn, there's so much shit going
Yes.
on.
Yeah. We'll
How
wait for that.
like as a society, I feel like Christmas is
I'm over Christmas.
so stressful now.
I'm over Christmas. It shouldn't be like this. You know they do this like.
Well, it's sad though because I love Christmas.
Yeah.
I love Christmas, but people make it so fucking like everybody at work's got to do a different.
Well, it's also what we're seeing online, what we're seeing on advertisements, like that's just pressuring us to
Follow the game.
follow,
Buy the product.
follow the game. The game. That is
Yeah.
a huge key.
The
term.
narrative.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I am completely over Christmas, if I'm going to be honest with you. Like this year,
I hate that for
I haven't
you.
even put up my Christmas tree. I just can't get with it. I say like next year I'm not going to do Christmas. I'm going to take my kids maybe on a vacation and do something with. I'm going to spend my money on memories instead of presents that because they already always get what they need.
Well, we're in a world where, and you're close enough to my age to remember this timeline. Christmas and birthdays were the only time you ever got anything.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah,
we weren't
pretty
just
much.
getting shit all the time.
Right.
Like, you got a big thing at Christmas and a birthday, and throughout the rest of the year, for guys, it was like action figures, $5 action figures or something. But at Christmas, you might get a Nintendo, But today, it's like things are so cheap, and their dads are playing video games. Yeah, that's the world. A lot of my buddies are like, yeah, I'm paying for the fucking video games and the kids are playing them. It's like they need to be chipping in on that shit. But the dads are gamers, right? So it's like you're in that weird world where it's like, I'm buying the game, but they're playing it and they're mooching off of me.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like they have everything they need, everything they want.
Exactly.
And when you start having to, and here's what I hate about Christmas. When you have to start thinking about what to get them. If you have
That's
to
a good
think
one.
about it, then they don't need a fucking thing.
That is a good one. Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Like, they're going to get whatever they need throughout the year. If they need something, they're going to get it. But
And your kids
so
in my age are of the age
tired.
where they can make money too.
Yes.
And they have their own income of
Yes.
some sorts, and they can buy their own shit.
I'm just so tired of buying something that maybe they might be interested in and they utilize it for like a week,
Yeah.
maybe a few days, and then they never take interest in it anymore.
Yeah.
I am so done with wasting my money on stuff like that. Because growing up for me, I could not tell you what I got at 7 years old, or when I got at 10 or 12. Like I can't really tell you what I got.
Really?
No.
I wonder if that's a guy and girl thing, or is this just a you and me thing? Cause
I mean, there was like certain things, but
like
every
I remember
single
almost
year,
every Christmas because.
Well, maybe your parents just did it right.
Well, no, it was because of what was coming out. Because I was a gamer, and so every year, like Nintendo had a different kind of release kind of thing. So like,
Did
there
you
was,
guys
it was
go
a
on
big.
vacations though?
We usually went on one summer vacation,
Okay. See, my parents
and I hated them.
we did some vacations, and that is what I remember most of.
So that's more
Was
important to
the
you than.
memories. Yes.
See, I also have every one of our Christmases on home video, and I've seen them all 100
good
times.
days.
So that's why I remember what I got.
Yes.
It wasn't just that I. So
Right.
there was a trick to that.
Yeah.
I would not have remembered without the home videos, but like my sister and I love like around this time of year popping in because my dad would set up a camera and he had this. Oh, don't start coughing again, or I'm gonna start drinking
I know.
cough syrup.
Like.
And I'm gonna pass out on the podcast, and we'll have to delete the whole thing and start over. But he used to set up a camera, like filming the whole room, and then me and Chelsea would take turns opening presents. Except she wouldn't. She would just open up everyone.
Yeah.
She was little, but so we have seen those videos. So I that's why I know every gift I got and I was really blessed because he traded a Rolex. He had a Rolex watch that he got as an award for something because we couldn't afford a video camera, and he traded it for this camcorder, and that thing, God, he must have used that motherfucker for 15 years. Way after it was out of date. You remember the mini video cassettes? You'd put them in the camcorders. They were like this big, but to watch them in a VCR, you had to put them in a converter.
I was thinking like a cassette. Like a cassette.
No, like they were a mini VHS in the little mini camcorder, like the handheld camcorders.
Okay.
But then in order to watch them in a VCR, you had to put them in like a little converter that was this big and then put it in. It's wild.
We didn't have one of those.
Yeah, it was wild.
It's funny that you mentioned that because last Christmas, I took all of my parents. Sorry. I might have to.
Something happens to you at the end of podcast where you just
need more talking. So I found like a company. It's like memories.com. And so I took all of my parents' VHSs, like our home videos, and then sent it to this company. And then they restored them into DVDs.
I gotta do that.
And
how
that
much was it
the
affordable?
Best. Yeah. Honestly, I had my sisters. We all dived in. Like I had the idea and asked them if they wanted to chip in.
Okay.
And gosh, it was under $200, and that was for 4 videos. So yeah.
We got a lot of it. We got like 100.
Oh yeah, that might.
Those
you might want to do a little bit at a time.
Yeah, they're the minute, but there's only 20 minutes on them. That's what.
Well,
sucks.
actually, then you could probably combine multiple in one.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I gotta look into it
because it depends on like the time frame. Like,
I gotta do this while my parents are alive.
Yeah, my parents
I wanna
loved
be able
it,
to...
and then we when they opened up their gift, we played it for everybody.
Oh, that's
Christmas.
cool.
So it was really special.
That is see, and that's you're talking about memories, right?
That's just something
I just feel like memory for me, like Christmas in and of itself is kind of a shitty thing. Like it's a beautiful holiday and I get it, but like it's become so commercialized, and not only that, it's become this obligation. That's the word I'd use for it. I have to do this company thing or this family thing, and I don't do that. I don't do that with my family. I never have. I don't play that game. Christmas is stressful enough.
Oh yeah.
I pick my key characters, and that's what we do. And Christmas Day, we do not leave the house. We stay home. We spend it as a family. I remember being like, this is a funny story. I don't know if I've told this on a podcast, but I grew up in Florida. As soon as I was born, my parents whisked me away to Florida because their parents were, telling them how to raise me, and they didn't want any of that, grandparents nagging at them. So they moved to Florida. My dad was playing in a rock band down there. He was a mechanic, and we lived in a rental house, and all I wanted was a dog. We couldn't have a pet there. And so we moved back to Arkansas when I was 5, just about turned 6, so I go to kindergarten. And about a year later, we moved out to the country, and Christmas morning, I get this, it's a puppy dog. It's a golden retriever mix. I named him Rudolph because he was red. Anyway, this story really sounds like a spoiled brat kid, but it still pisses me off to this day because I'm talking about when I'm 44. Anyway, I'd wanted a puppy. Just keep in mind, I'd wanted a puppy all my life. I'm like 5 years old, and that's the only thing I wanted. I get the puppy, and then they're like, all right, we need to put Rudolph away because we got to go over to your grandparents, and then your other grandparents, and then over to your aunt's house, and we'll be back at like 10 tonight. And I'm like, what the fuck? I just got a puppy and now I gotta go?
That's not fair.
And that's one of those things as a parent where you're like, my kids are not traveling circus on Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Like a broken family. Like, that's a shitty thing to say. But like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
When I was a kid, we went on tour on Thanksgiving. We went to every family, every fucking thing, and it was a long-ass day. And it was just everywhere, and it's like it just got so stressful and commercialized.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
But I still love Christmas. I love the spirit of Christmas.
Good. That's good. That's good.
But
I guess I'm just kind of a little hard on that right now.
Well, like, you got to be able to hold two ideas in your mind at once. Christmas sucks and Christmas is awesome. Mm-hmm. They're both true.
I mean, I always was a giver. Like, I loved giving to others. But I guess I'm just like in this season now that I can't financially just give like I used to.
Oh my God. I know.
And maybe that's where I'm
the
just
same
like,
way.
I'm over it. Like, my kids have to understand that.
I'm not ashamed to say this. Like, in 2018, 2019, we were rocking it. Putting money in the bank. Mm-hmm. Just putting cash into the mattresses, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now it's like, we don't get paid for 2 days.
Right, yeah.
Don't spend anything.
Yeah, like, no.
No fucking, no spending.
Oh my God.
And it's sad because we went from upper middle class to lower middle class in 5 years.
Yeah. So that reminds me.
Making more money. By the way.
Yes.
Making a lot more
like,
money.
We're not not making less.
The wages went up, but the cost went
Yeah, it's not balancing.
It's
that's the problem. And that reminds me, because today I had taken my middle son, Titus, to lunch during school. Because I like to always have like that, try to spend some like one-on-one time
That's
with
what we were talking about earlier. Yeah, it's awesome.
And so I took him to lunch, and I went to Wendy's in Farmington. And
the fact that we have a Wendy's in Farmington. But anyway.
Yeah, I know. We've grown a lot.
What happened to Cardinal Corner?
I know.
You bastards. God damn it. Cardinal Corner was so awesome.
But I was telling him, because I got like the Big E bag deal. Mm-hmm. And that now is $7. Just a few years ago, when I was an optician, I had told him the story. I was like, yeah, like for my lunch break, I would go to the Wendy's down the road because that was just right by my work. And I used to get this, and it was only $4.
Yeah.
You could get like a burger, like like 4 nuggets and fries, and then a drink for $4.
Oh, I remember going to Taco
$7.
Bell when I was like in 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, those ages, when I was just a Taco Bell fiend. With a $5 bill. You could get a soft taco, a hard taco, and a burrito, and change back.
Yes.
Now that is $9.
I know. Like, Taco Bell was, that was it.
It was a cheap-ass meal that was so tasty, and it was awful throwing it up after a night of boozing. But, hey, sorry, kids, it happened.
You live and you learn.
We destroyed a hotel room with Taco Bell one night. I regret that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for the maid.
Man, I feel... you look back, and that's one of the things about being a parent, like I was talking about earlier, you don't appreciate being a parent when you're a kid because you're not responsible for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But if I look at my 20-year-old self and I applied it to my son, and that's who my son was, I would be disgusted with him. I would be so disappointed.
That's deep.
I look at my 30-year-old self and I would say I would not be proud of that person. The older I get, the wiser I get, the less selfish I get, and the more about, you talk about giving,
Mm-hmm.
right? My purpose, I've realized, and I've realized it some time ago, but is to give to my kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's all my purpose is to give to them. But I don't think they're going to be the person I was when I was 20 and 30.
Right.
They're not going to be a piece of shit,
Yeah.
selfish. They just became, why I was that way, who knows? I don't know. It's all psychology and stuff, but I was a very selfish person.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't have been proud of myself or my kids if they were that way,
Yeah.
And you look back at that, and again, I go back to, that's why I don't want a daughter. I know I was a piece of shit. I was a pig, Young boys are,
Mm-hmm.
that's an instinct.
Yeah.
A lot of it, they need to behave themselves. I'm not saying you should, but I'm saying like that's the instinct of the young male is to breed.
Right.
Fuck everything you can, but like I don't want that for my kids. Like
Yeah.
I don't want them to be that kind of guy. I don't want them to be.
I can kind of relate to you on that one because I look at my oldest, he's 17 and a half now, and I was already pregnant at 17 and a half. And I'm
Right.
like, this kid is so much better than
Our kids are
what
better than us.
Yes, and that's what we want.
But don't
But
we
I'm
get a
like-
little credit for that? Like just a
That's what
tiny
I'm trying
bit.
to say. Like this gender, like us,
Like we
we're
didn't
doing
do
the hard
too bad a
work.
job.
And then these kids are going to be making the stripes because we were the ones
I
that were
think-
like,
I like what you're saying.
no, like this is not working. This is not right.
You know,
Like,
it's a really validating though. Is like when your parents, like when you first start having kids, they're like, you need to do this and this and this, and like, fuck, I'll do what I want.
right.
And then
that was us. Yeah.
And then 10 years later, they come and say, you guys have done a really good job.
yes.
Your kids are fantastic, and it's like,
Thank you. Yep. Yes.
But I also don't like praise to my kids because it's like, man, this shit could go under real fast. Like
I mean,
all
they're
it
not
takes
gonna
is
be perfect.
all it takes is for
but-
one cocaine hit, and that kid is in the gutter.
I think that,
It could go wrong at any time.
Yeah, but I don't. I would love to look at the statistics of the drug abuse now. I'm really curious when it comes to the younger generation and where that stands versus where we were.
Well,
That's an interesting thing to look at.
let's dive into that.
Yeah, because I
it might as
have
well.
a feeling
We're-
that it's actually not as
We're
bad as we
6
think.
hours into the podcast, folks. But
We just keep going and going.
well, goddamn, the conversation's good. I'm not going to stop it when it's rolling. Jeez. When we were kids, marijuana was the devil.
Oh yes.
They sent police dogs into the school,
I
and the kids who got
remember
suspended
that.
for marijuana were demonized. They were.
Oh yes.
I'm not going to mention his name, but when I was, I doubt you'd even know him because he was a couple years older than me. But there was a kid that got busted and had weed in his locker. The drug dog found it. He got suspended. The whole town shunned this kid. He was dead to the town. He was a ghost. At school, when he came back, finally, nobody'd associate with him over weed. And
Right.
now every fucking buddy on the planet has got a medical marijuana
legal
card.
now. Like,
It's
you've seen that
legal
coming.
now. I'm not a personal fan. Makes me paranoid. But
Right.
if you like it, I don't have a problem with you doing it. But what I'm saying is we're in a different society than we were 25 years ago. Because
Right.
like the drug then was like pot is bad, and now it's like people are on oxycodones and fentanyl and other like
Yes.
more
Yes.
pharmaceutical type stuff.
That is not good for you.
And-
Like
and-
I mean, like
No, it's
marijuana's
not good for you.
Never been like
But don't you want to feel good
But
when you're a kid and you just take a pill and it's magic?
I'd rather them go smoke behind a dumpster. To be honest,
Yes.
versus popping pills.
No, yeah, that's what you'd rather. But if this generation likes this feeling, you can't control, you know what I mean? Like the trends of what drugs are cool. And because a lot of it is trending, oh, they're doing the cool shit.
Right.
I'm going to do whatever's,
But I think that since it's legal now, I feel like it's more acceptable, and I feel like we're
Oh, the taboo is gone.
yeah.
The
and
taboo is
so
gone. It's completely gone. Like
I've
it's not
always
even
been
a part
open
of.
with my children that I'm not against it. It's not something that like I just really do.
Yeah.
But I'm not against it. I feel like if you are going through depression, you have anxiety, or whatever the case may be, or you have cancer, or like you just need something to make you like be able to eat, I would much rather you get a medical card and use that.
I'd much rather
than
you.
you getting pills. I feel like it's a God given thing. It's something that grows
It's
from the
natural.
ground. It's something that grows
It's
from the
natural.
ground.
God gave it to us.
Yes. Why would he
God
create this
gave us
world
weed.
that would grow from the earth
Right,
naturally?
right.
If
He
it
also gave us the
wasn't-
resources to make hydrocodone. By that same logic, it's how you abuse it and use it.
Well, I mean that also has a lot more of like scientific, stuff than just picking leaves and smoking it.
Oh, absolutely.
But
Yeah, it's a concoction.
yes. But I've
It's
always,
not a Yeah, I get what you're saying. There's a big separation there. Natural
yeah.
weed just grows
Right.
versus concocting this pill out of
Yeah.
a bunch of chemicals. Yes, big
yeah.
difference. Yeah.
And I've been that way for a long time. Like I don't look bad upon anybody that does it because I would rather you do that. Like I'd rather you do that than ruin your life because I know
Oh
plenty
my
of people
God,
that have
that's so funny.
it being personal, like to me, that have been on and ruined their lives with that stuff. And I've seen it firsthand, and I don't want any part of that. And
It's brutal.
yeah,
I've seen it as well.
yeah.
I've seen the lowest of the low.
So
And it is
I'm
the
glad
most-
that we, as a society, are getting more open and understanding to that. Because, like, where have you heard that, like, somebody just went and murdered somebody because they were high?
Well, no, it's like I've thought this for a long time. I thought this before I had kids. I was like, man, if I had kids and they were out partying, I would way rather them smoke weed and drive home than drink.
Yes.
Because, and here's why. When I drove home drunk, I didn't remember it.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no idea what happened. I have glimpses of going off the road sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But when I drove home high, I was like, all right, the light turned green. If I hit the gas
More
too
alert.
fast, I seem too eager. So I will very slowly push the gas and go the speed. You're like hyper calculating and being super safe because you're paranoid. You don't want to get pulled over. Like, what's better?
Mm-hmm.
Not remembering the night or like being super cautious?
Like, maybe being balanced with your subconscious and your consciousness?
However you want to put it. And now they're talking about like DMT, and have you heard about all this stuff they're doing with mushrooms for veterans, and like they're doing some kind of mushroom psychotherapy with veterans that really helps
I have not.
with their PTSD and stuff. Like they've legalized, like I think RFK got it legalized for therapy, but yeah, they're using mushrooms.
So we're going back to holistic stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, y'all.
I agree.
Times are turning.
I won't say if I've ever done mushrooms or not.
I mean,
but I think that there is probably some value in them.
I mean, I guess that would be just like, marijuana. It grows. It's a natural thing.
But think about this. Mushrooms weren't even talked about when we grew up because they were even more taboo. It's like marijuana was the devil.
Right.
Mushrooms weren't even like
No.
that was way out there.
Yeah.
Now they're both normalized.
Yes. I haven't
And that's
really.
wild to think about that we're
Yeah.
old enough. Like I was telling a buddy yesterday, I watched Peyton Manning's first game as an NFL player, and I watched his last game. I'm old enough to have seen the career
And see what happens.
of a football player, which is 20 years for a quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw it every game he played. That's why, like, you can't tell your kids about something that existed before you, right? Like, you can't explain what it was like to watch Peyton Manning. Yeah, they can watch a 2-hour highlights clip, but unless you watch the games week in and week out for 20 years and go, Peyton's going to do it. He's going to do it. Oh, fuck, he's doing. Oh, my God. You can't capture that in a 2-hour clip video.
Right.
It's, and we have our heroes of our generation that our kids will never know. And they've got theirs. Our parents had theirs.
Yes. Yes. That's why I feel like, okay, it's getting better. Like, things are going to get better.
Well, who are the heroes of our generation now? Like, who are kids looking up to? Because Hollywood's dead.
Themselves.
Really?
I feel like they are tuning in.
You're tuning in more.
Yes. And that's what we want.
And that's good.
Yes. I mean, we do have, like, video game issue, like the issues. We do.
What do you mean?
Well, like, a lot of, like, boys, for instance, will, like, be on video games or whatever, not in tune. But, like, they're also very creative.
I'm not going to demonize gaming. I think gaming is very... It really challenges the mind. The games today are not mindless. You have to really solve, and I think video games are a great thing. Dumb games like little clickers and stuff where you have to buy bots to click on shit. Like, they're stupid games, but like, you talking about good video games like Red Dead 2 or Witcher. Things that have these really deep stories and are very challenging. I mean, those things are fantastic. It's like living a novel. Mm-hmm. They're so advanced now. You know? The problem is, I think parents don't put a limit on those things. I know parents who are like, oh, it's the weekend, no limits, electronics, and the kids don't come out of the bedroom. They're literally on the screen for 16 hours a day for 2 days.
Mm-hmm. That's a problem.
And that's a huge problem. They're just constantly getting hit with dopamine and rewards for doing this, whereas I limit my kids to an hour a day. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. You may see that's too strict or that's too liberal. Whatever. But you get an hour if your chores are done. You can earn more time with extra chores or something. Weekends a little more liberal. We do a little bit more family playing, but I like to limit the electronics and keep them more in the physical world.
Right.
But I also want to encourage video games because they are strategic. They make you think.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
they give you
creative.
hand-eye coordination. It's great for hand-eye coordination.
There are definite positives to that, for sure.
The problem is that people don't have limits, and that's why I hate it. With like, the government's going after the porn industry. I was like, how about parents police what the fuck their kids are watching? Like, why is the government responsible for kids watching porn? That should be in the home.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like parents have gotten to a point where they're not, they don't feel like they're responsible. Like,
there are some, like, they're just kind of lazy. That kind of sounds bad. When
Does
I
that
say
make sense? I don't know. I didn't
lazy.
articulate that well.
No, it does.
Help me out.
Yeah.
What am I trying to say?
Well, like, I think that the parents are just so overwhelmed that they just don't know what the heck to do, because of everything that there is going on. Like,
Because life gets complicated.
yeah, I mean, they're
fast.
making it do like that for us. Like, there's a reason.
Yeah.
That's what they want for us. And
Yeah.
so we're so overwhelmed. We're overwhelmed. Like, every day, like, things are getting harder. Like, bills are getting hard. Like, everything is more challenging.
God.
And so we need some type of rest. And so maybe it might be easier to let your child just do that. So that way you can try to, like, come back to yourself. And so that's a challenge that we have to figure out the balance with, because that's what they want. That's what the whole agenda about. With that part, it is.
So much to talk about. We're
Yeah.
going to wrap it up. It's been
Okay. Yeah.
almost 3 hours, I think.
Yeah. We have a lot to talk about.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Again, this was a better one.
Yes.
We're not.
Yeah, we're not sick anymore.
Well, I was awake this time. I was awake.
I didn't bore you this time.
No, you didn't bore me the last time. It was just embarrassing to watch me. I was like, oh, yeah, really?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh, I can't put that up.
Yeah.
She's fantastic, but I can't embarrass myself.
Well, we were also trying to do some stuff like after 10 o'clock at night, too. And so it just, yeah.
Well, this one was great.
Yeah. Yeah. Second time is a charm.
I kind of feel like they could have just gone on forever.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to say, all right.
You're like, hey, okay, let's.
No, my kids are home. I got to go
We'll
spend
save
some
it for
time with
another
them.
time.
But I do want to, let's do the spray tan thing. That'd be funny.
Yeah. Yes. So stay tuned. We're going to do a spray tan with him.
We are going to do. Oh, yeah, we're still filming. They got all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. That'd be funny. I don't know.
So, like the American flag that's on your hat.
How would you
We're going to
do?
put that on his
How would
back.
you do that?
So-
like, describe to me the So I'm all right. I'm laying. So how?
Yo,
do
you just stand.
All right. I'm standing.
You just stand like this.
Okay. And so
And I'll put like stickers, stars, and then stripes on your back. And then,
stickers.
yeah, I'll just buy some stickers, put them on like the American flag,
Yeah.
and then put a stripes on your back because it'll look more like that flag.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I just spray
Okay.
and dry it with some setting powder, and then take off the stickers, and then voila.
Interesting. I'd like to see you at work. I was initially fascinated with what you do. Because I was like, what is this?
Yeah, I mean, it's not as easy as everybody thinks it is. I think that a lot of people think I'm just like standing there and just like. Oh.
Well, no, I reached
But
out.
I'm like doing yoga poses, like getting down and like splits, like in crevices, like I do it all.
Man.
So it's not just like,
Right.
I mean, I wish it was that easy, but it's not.
You're working out over there.
Yeah, it's like it's a workout. Like I did, the most I did back to back in one day, like every 30 minutes was 17 tans. And that was
Jesus.
Farmington's prom.
Ah, those prom ladies like the spray tan.
Oh my goodness. I was really like beating myself up. I'm like, I'm out of breath. Like there was no break at all. It was
Just
like
getting hammered.
like if you think about like doing workouts, and that was like 5 hours.
Yeah.
So like being at a gym like and working out for 5 hours straight.
Yeah, sure.
That's kind of how it was. And
I
I was
mean,
like,
you're
I
not-
cannot do that anymore. Like, I have to at least give myself a little break in between to be able to do this correctly, because that I just really beat myself up with that one. And I was like, no, Amber, you're an overachiever, but you can't do that.
Well, I'm glad you came back on. I'm glad we redid this.
Yeah, me too.
It worked out. Second time's a
Yes.
charm, turns out.
Yes.
So rock on.
Yeah.
And we look forward to the book and the television appearance.
Yeah.
Keep people updated on that.
We'll just have to stay tuned.
And the old spray tan.
yeah.
We'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll have more to talk about, I feel like.
Nah, I know.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, these old bones, man. G at 40.
Hey, I'm like 4 years away from that.
Well, enjoy them.